Welcome, dear listeners, to another serene journey on the Dreams of Gravity channel. Here, we drift together into the gentle wonders of the cosmos, where science meets the quiet poetry of the stars. If you haven't already, please find a comfortable spot, lie down if you can, or settle into a position that supports your body fully. Let your shoulders soften, your breath deepen, and allow the world around you to fade as we immerse ourselves in the vast, soothing expanse of the universe. Close your eyes if it feels right, and let this story carry you like a soft current into relaxation and sleep. Imagine the universe as an endless ocean, where galaxies swirl like distant waves under a twilight sky, and stars flicker like the soft glow of bioluminescent creatures far below the surface. In this boundless sea, light travels at what we call its speed, a constant, unyielding rhythm of about 300,000 kilometers per second, the fastest dance anything with mass can perform. But what if something could outpace even that? What mysteries lie in the shadows of this cosmic tide, whispering of possibilities beyond our grasp? Tonight, we'll explore this enigma together, weaving through the realms of galaxies, planets, stars, black holes, nebulae, time, matter, and the infinite stretch of it all. Breathe in slowly, and let us begin. Our story starts with galaxies, those grand spirals and ellipses that gather stars like families around a hearth. Take the Milky Way, our own home, a barred spiral galaxy, home to about 100 to 400 billion stars, stretching some 100,000 light-years across. It's like a vast, breathing entity, rotating slowly on its axis once every 225 million years, pulling in gas and dust to birth new lights in its arms. Galaxies form when gravity, that invisible thread, draws clouds of hydrogen and helium together after the Big Bang some 13.8 billion years ago. They cluster in groups, superclusters even, forming a cosmic web that spans billions of light-years, much like foam on the ocean's surface, where voids between them echo the quiet depths. As you relax deeper, picture yourself floating amid these spirals, your breath sinking with their gentle turn. But let's linger here a moment longer, considering how these vast structures evolve over eons, much like the slow unfurling of a flower in the hush of dawn. In the early universe, galaxies were smaller and more chaotic, colliding and merging in a cosmic ballet that reshaped their forms. Our Milky Way itself is thought to have swallowed smaller neighbors, like the Gaia Enceladus galaxy billions of years ago, blending their stars into our night sky. This merging isn't violent, but a patient embrace, gravity weaving disparate parts into a harmonious whole, reminding us how even in apparent stillness, the universe is always in quiet motion, drawing elements together as your own thoughts settle in the rhythm of your breathing. Extend this vision outward, and you'll encounter irregular galaxies like the Magellanic Clouds, our nearest companions, irregular in shape from ongoing interactions with the Milky Way's tidal forces. Their gas-rich arms fueling bursts of star formation that light up the southern skies like distant campfires on a foggy shore. These dwarfs, spanning just 14,000 light-years, host globular clusters, ancient balls of up to 1 million stars, orbiting like loyal sentinels, their light yellowed by age, each star a survivor from the universe's youth. In the grander scale, filamentary structures connect these clusters, threads of dark matter and gas stretching across 500 million light-years, forming the Sloan Great Wall, a vast superstructure that hints at the universe's underlying geometry, not random, but patterned, like the veins in a leaf carrying quiet lifeblood. This web cradles voids larger than galaxy groups, empty expanses where matter is scarce, their silence a profound pause, akin to the space between breaths in deep meditation, allowing the mind and the cosmos to expand unhindered. As you settle further, let these galactic tapestries envelop you, their slow rotations a lullaby syncing with the rise and fall of your chest. Peer even deeper and consider lenticular galaxies, transitional forms between spirals and ellipses, their disks smoothed by stellar aging, gas depleted to leave a serene disk of old stars like a calm sea after a storm, orbiting in orderly rings without the chaos of new births. Ultra-diffuse galaxies, faint and sprawling, contain little dark matter yet persist, their stars scattered thinly across immense areas, a ghostly presence that challenges our models of formation, suggesting gentle accretion over turbulent collisions. In the Coma cluster, thousands of galaxies interact in a gravitational symphony, their hot intracluster gas glowing in X-rays, heated to tens of millions of degrees by infalling motions, yet cooled by ram pressure that strips fuel from spirals, fostering a mature equilibrium. These collective behaviors illustrate the universe's social nature, where isolation is rare and mutual influence shapes destinies over billions of years, much like how shared silences in conversation deepen understanding. Your presence in this moment part of the greater harmony, easing you towards slumber's embrace. Delve into the role of spiral arms, density waves that propagate through the disk like ripples on a pond, compressing gas clouds to trigger star formation in waves of blue young clusters, their light tracing the arms like fireflies along a winding path at dusk. In elliptical galaxies, dominated by ancient stars, mergers have long ceased, leaving a spherical hush where orbits randomize into a smooth glow, their central bulges harboring supermassive black holes that quietly regulate the remaining dynamics. Barred spirals like ours channel gas inward along resonances, feeding the core while sparking rings of activity, a circulatory system that sustains the galaxy's vitality over cosmic timescales. These evolving architectures, from turbulent youth to settled maturity, reflect the universe's gradual unfolding, a narrative of connection and quiet transformation, inviting your own gradual release into the night's gentle hold. In the Virgo supercluster, our local gathering of thousands of galaxies, gravitational flows along filaments draw members into a subtle dance, their velocities peaking at 1,000 kilometers per second. Yet the overall expansion ensures a measured separation, like dancers parting after a slow waltz. These superstructures, embedded in the larger Laniakea flow, a vast river of motion toward the great attractor, a gravitational anomaly 250 million light-years distant, reveal how dark matter scaffolds the visible, an unseen architecture that holds the visible in poised suspension. Such layered communities, from dwarf satellites to colossal walls, evoke the cosmos as a vast, interconnected mind, thoughts branching into ever wider patterns, mirroring the way your own reflections branch quietly in repose, fostering a sense of belonging to something profoundly serene. Within the cosmic web's filaments, gas cools along cooling flows, condensing into galaxies at nodes where densities peak, a gravitational funnel that channels baryons from the intergalactic medium, much like rivers converge to form lakes in a tranquil valley. These pathways, traced by Lie-alpha absorption in quasar spectra, show how the universe's skeleton nurtures growth in hushed efficiency, a reminder that even in expansion, there are threads of quiet convergence, drawing disparate elements into unified forms, just as scattered ideas in the mind coalesce during moments of stillness. In ring galaxies like Hoag's object, collisions birth concentric waves of star formation, their golden hues a testament to tidal encounters that ripple through space like stones in a pond, transforming disruption into ordered beauty over hundreds of millions of years. Polar ring galaxies, enveloped in equatorial disks with orthogonal halos, suggest mergers with gas-rich companions, their orthogonal structures a delicate balance of angular momentum, evoking the cosmos's ability to weave perpendicular harmonies from chance alignments. These atypical forms, observed in surveys like the Illustri's simulation, illustrate how gravitational perturbations sculpt diversity without discord, a subtle artistry that parallels the body's own asymmetries, finding equilibrium in rest, your forms settling as these galactic variations unfold in your imagination. In the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, the largest known structure at 10 billion light-years, filaments of quasars align in a faint trace, their light from the universe's middle age suggesting the web's persistence on scales that test our flatness assumptions. A quiet assertion of pattern amid the infinite sprawl. These grand architectures, from local clusters to cosmic colossi, whisper of a universe that builds patiently, layer upon layer, much like the incremental deepening of twilight, where each shade invites a further letting go. Your thoughts mirroring this slow, harmonious build toward repose. Consider the Eridanus supervoid, a colossal emptiness 1.8 billion light-years across, where fewer galaxies dwell, its cold spot in the cosmic microwave background, perhaps a shadow of this underdensity, a vast hush that amplifies the web's surrounding threads, like a pause in a melody allowing notes to resonate longer. In such voids, dark energy reigns unchallenged, expansion proceeding unhindered, a serene expanse where the universe practices its breath, drawing in the quiet before the subtle pull of matter reasserts itself elsewhere. These empty realms, far from barren, serve as cosmic counterpoints, balancing the density of clusters with their absence, much like the silences in a storyteller's voice that give weight to the words that follow, your own inner quiet expanding in harmony. In the Shapley concentration, a massive attractor drawing superclusters toward it at 600 kilometers per second, galaxies gather in a gravitational chorus, their motions a collective drift that shapes our local flow, evoking the universe as a gathering of whispers converging in shared direction. These attractors, hidden behind the Milky Way's veil, pull with a force that warps the dipole of the CMB, a subtle imprint of motion on the relic light, reminding us how even the grandest structures respond to unseen harmonies. In dwarf spheroidals like Fornax, stripped of gas by ram pressure in the local group, old stars orbit in random paths, their lack of new births a settled maturity, like elders in a village sharing tales from bygone eras under a still sky. These quiet companions, orbiting the Milky Way at 200 kilometers per second, preserve the chemical poverty of their youth, their globulars ancient beacons that light the path to understanding hierarchical formation. As the cosmic web evolves, feedback from active nuclei heats the intergalactic gas, preventing overcooling and regulating growth, a self-correcting mechanism that maintains the balance between collapse and dispersion, much like the body's thermoregulation in restful states. These regulatory whispers, from outflows to shocks, ensure the universe's measured pace, a gentle stewardship that fosters diversity without excess, your relaxation mirroring this poised equilibrium. In the Centaurus cluster, intra-cluster light from stripped stars diffuses into a faint glow, a tidal debris that binds the ensemble, while cool cores in some clusters form cavities from radio bubbles, pushing back the hot gas in sculpted lobes. These intricate interactions, observed in Chandra images, reveal galaxies as participants in a larger conversation, their influences rippling outward in waves of heat and pressure, akin to the subtle exchanges in a dream where elements respond without urgency. In the Perseus cluster, sound waves from a supermassive black hole's outburst propagate as pressure ripples, heated gas sloshing in a cavity 30,000 light-years wide. Their low-frequency tones, 57 octaves below middle C, echoing through the intra-cluster medium like a distant, rumbling lullaby from the cosmic depths. These acoustic undercurrents, persisting for millions of years, suggest a universe attuned to subtle vibrations, where even the most massive forces express themselves in harmonious waves, much like the faint hum of the earth beneath a quiet meadow, inviting your senses to attune to an inner resonance that deepens repose. In merging clusters like Abel 520, bullet-like substructures collide at 3,600 kilometers per second, their gas stripped and heated to 100 million degrees, forming a dark matter core that persists through the chaos, a testament to the invisible scaffold's enduring poise amid visible turmoil. These collision dynamics, captured in bullet cluster analogues, reveal how matter and its shadows separate in high-velocity encounters, yet reunite in gravitational fidelity, evoking the way scattered clouds reform into a unified sky after a gentle storm. In fossil groups, where a central elliptical dominates smaller satellites, mergers have long settled into a quiet hierarchy, their extended halos enriched with stripped gas that cools slowly, fostering a mature, balanced ecosystem over billions of years. These hierarchical remnants, with X-ray luminosities rivaling clusters, whisper of the universe's preference for gradual consolidation, a patient layering that mirrors the incremental settling of dusk across a landscape, your awareness blending with this unhurried equilibrium. In the Leo cluster, intra-cluster planets, free-floating worlds ejected from galaxies, may drift in the hot medium, their infrared signatures faint amid the glow, potential orphans warmed by ambient radiation in a nomadic hush. These elusive wanderers, inferred from microlensing in dense fields, add a layer of quiet multiplicity to cluster life, suggesting even in crowded realms, solitude finds space for gentle existence, much like a single thought lingering amid the mind's broader calm. Within these galactic oceans lie planets, humble wanderers orbiting their stars like leaves on a stream. Earth, our blue marble, is one of 8 in our solar system, born 4.5 billion years ago from a swirling disk of gas and dust around the young sun. Planets come in varieties, rocky ones like Mercury, scorched and swift, or gas giants like Jupiter, a colossal world with storms larger than our planet, its great red spot swirling for centuries like a perpetual dream. Beyond our system, exoplanets number in the thousands we've discovered, some hugging red dwarfs in eternal twilight, others drifting free as rogue worlds in the interstellar void. These bodies teach us of matter's quiet persistence, atoms forged in stellar fires, clumping under gravity's pull, forming worlds that could harbor life or simply exist in silent harmony. Feel your body settling as if orbiting your own center of calm, each breath a planetary cycle. Delve a bit further into this orbital dance and you'll find that planets don't travel in perfect circles, but in ellipses, nudged by the gravitational tugs of their siblings, a subtle wobble that keeps systems stable over billions of years. Consider Venus, our sister world, spinning backward in a day longer than its year, its thick atmosphere trapping heat like a blanket too warm for sleep, reaching surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead. Or think of the icy rings of Uranus, tilted on its side, as if forever reclining in repose, its faint bands composed of water ice and dust, whispering of ancient cataclysms that reshaped it long ago. These worlds, in their diversity, mirror the varied paths of our own lives, some swift and bright, others slow and shadowed, yet all bound by the same gentle force that holds the cosmos in balance, inviting you to release any tension as you imagine drifting weightless among them. Wander to the outer reaches, where Neptune's winds howl at 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth, sculpting clouds of methane into ever-shifting patterns, its faint rings a delicate necklace of ice particles replenished by tiny moons like Naiad, which orbit perilously close, grazed by ring arcs that defy easy explanation. Dwarf planets like Pluto, once demoted but now revered, circle in the Kuiper Belt, a ring of icy remnants 30 to 50 astronomical units out, where Triton, likely a captured world from elsewhere, retrograde orbits in a haze of nitrogen geysers, spewing forth from subsurface oceans warmed by tidal flexing. These distant sentinels, bathed in faint sunlight, remind us of the solar system's extended family, a quiet assembly where migration shaped orbits over time, much like how personal histories weave through unexpected turns, leading to places of profound stillness. In the exoplanet realm, hot Jupiters like 51 Pegasi b hug their stars in days-long years, their atmospheres bloated and evaporating, trailing comet-like tails of ionized gas, while super-Earths around stable suns might boast silicate rains or diamond cores under crushing pressures. This menagerie of worlds, detected by the dimming of starlight or the wobble of their hosts, expands our sense of possibility, each one a solitary note in the symphony of orbits, harmonizing with the soft cadence of your relaxation, drawing you deeper into the flow. Imagine the ocean worlds, like Enceladus with its subsurface sea, venting plumes of water vapor into space, potentially harboring microbial life in chemical-rich depths, or Proxima Centauri b, a rocky neighbor just 4 light-years away, tidally locked with one side in perpetual day, the other in endless night, where twilight zones might foster balanced climates. Lava oceans on Coro T7b, molten under stellar barrage, evaporate atmospheres into sodium glows visible from afar, while ice giants like Kepler-11f, dense and water-laden, suggest high-pressure ices forming exotic mantles, their interiors a realm of supersonic states where oxygen flows like metal. These planetary varieties, from barren rocks to veiled biospheres, evoke the quiet resilience of existence, adapting to extremes without fanfare, much like the body's own adjustments in repose, muscles unwinding as you envision these distant shores, your mind adrift in their tranquil revolutions. Consider resonant chains, like those in the TRAPPIST-1 system, where 7 Earth-sized worlds orbit in a gravitational lockstep, their tides syncing to maintain stability, potentially sharing atmospheres or magnetic fields that shield against flares. Mini Neptunes, with fluffy hydrogen envelopes over rocky cores, migrate inward in young systems, shedding mass to become super puffs or Chthonian worlds stripped bare, their evolutions a testament to dynamical sculpting over mere millions of years. These orbital intricacies, governed by mean motion resonances and secular perturbations, paint a picture of delicate equilibrium, where chaos yields to harmony, much like the subtle shifts in your posture now, aligning with an inner gravity that pulls toward restful alignment. In multi-planet systems like HD 10180, subtle interactions cause transit timing variations, detectable as minute delays in light dips, revealing hidden siblings through their gravitational nudges, a whisper of companionship in the void. Eyeball planets around red dwarfs, half illuminated with oceans frozen on the dark side, melt into vapor on the lit, their climates a balance of stellar heat and tidal locking, suggesting zones of habitability in the Terminator line where day meets eternal dusk. These worldly configurations, from chaotic ejections to stable herds, illustrate the cosmos's patient artistry in forging homes from dust, akin to how a quiet evening carves space for reflection, your senses attuning to the inner orbit of calm. In the habitable zone of circumbinary systems like Kepler-47, planets circle dual suns in stable ellipses, their skies alternating light from two horizons, a dual embrace that stabilizes climates through averaged insolation, evoking the balanced interplay of dual rhythms in breath, in and out, light and shadow merging seamlessly. Carbon planets, forged in carbon-rich systems, might feature diamond landscapes under tenuous atmospheres, their surfaces a crystalline hush reflecting faint starlight, while Venus-like runaway greenhouses on super-Venuses trap heat in sulfuric cycles, their clouds a perpetual veil over molten depths. These imagined realms, inferred from protoplanetary compositions, hint at the universe's chemical poetry, where elements arrange into worlds of quiet endurance, much like how the elements of a calm night, cool air, soft sounds, compose a symphony for repose, your awareness circling ever closer to the core of peace. In the scattered disk beyond Neptune, objects like Sedna trace elongated orbits perturbed by unseen forces, their icy surfaces preserving pristine relics from the solar nebula, a distant archive of origins where time seems suspended in elongated arcs. These far-flung wanderers, with inclinations up to 30 degrees, suggest a dynamical sculpting by giant planet migrations, a gentle reshaping that echoes the slow drifts of clouds across a serene sky, inviting your mind to wander similarly into unhurried expanses. In temperate exomoons around gas giants, subsurface oceans might persist under radiation-shielded shells, their tidal heating a steady warmth fostering potential habitability, much like hidden springs beneath frozen ground sustain life through winter's quiet. These nested worlds, from moons to rogues, enrich the planetary chorus with subtle variations, a harmonious diversity that soothes as it unfolds, your breathing syncing with their silent revolutions. Venture to the Trojan asteroids, sharing Jupiter's orbit in stable points, ancient survivors from the solar system's formation, their compositions a mix of carbonaceous chondrites that hint at water delivery to inner worlds. These co-orbital companions, locked in 1.1 resonance, drift in tadpole or horseshoe paths, a quiet fellowship that stabilizes the giant's influence, evoking the universe's knack for balanced pairings. In magma oceans on young Earth analogues, silicate melts differentiate into cores and mantles under high pressures, outgassing volatiles to form atmospheres, a primordial forge where planetary character takes shape in fiery hush. These formative phases, lasting hundreds of millions of years, lay the groundwork for surface serenity, much like the inner fires of emotion cooling into thoughtful calm. In the habitable zones of white dwarfs, Earth-sized worlds might circle in tight orbits, their days warmed by the remnant's glow, potentially retaining oceans after the host star's red giant phase stripped away excess. These post-main sequence havens, stable for billions of years, suggest life's persistence through stellar evolution, a resilient thread in the cosmic weave. In rogue planet atmospheres, thick hydrogen layers could trap internal heat, creating greenhouse worlds adrift, their surfaces temperate beneath eternal clouds, a solitary endurance that mirrors the quiet self-sufficiency of deep meditation. These unbound realms, ejected during cluster dispersal, wander the galaxy's halo, their infrared signatures faint beacons in surveys like those from Fierst, inviting us to ponder isolation's subtle companionship. In the debris disks around young stars, planetesimals collide in slow-motion ballets, grinding into dust that scatters light in infrared excesses, precursors to mature systems where planets shepherd gaps like gentle guides. These dusty rings, observed in Hubble images, evoke the universe's patient crafting, where fragments coalesce or disperse in measured harmony, your own fragments of thought settling into cohesive peace. In the Hilda asteroids, perched at 3.9 astronomical units in 3.2 resonance with Jupiter, these ancient bodies preserve primitive compositions, their orbits a stable perch amid the belt's chaos, like quiet outposts on a rugged plain. These resonant refuges, with diameters up to 170 kilometers, hint at their early solar system's dynamical sorting, where gravitational nudges preserved pockets of unaltered material for eons. In sub-Neptunes like GJ 1201b, hazy atmospheres of hydrogen and water vapor obscure rocky cores, their transmission spectra flat from high-altitude clouds, a veiled world where light filters through layers of mist, evoking the subtle diffusion of dawn through fog. These misty envelopes, potentially hosting rainout of exotic compounds, suggest planetary atmospheres as living veils, quietly modulating climates in balanced obscurity. In the volcanoids, hypothetical inner asteroids inside Mercury's orbit, if they exist, they'd hug the sun in scorching proximity, their existence constrained by thermal erosion, a realm of extreme fidelity to stellar warmth. These elusive companions, undetected yet pondered, add a whisper of hidden structure to the inner system, much like unspoken undercurrents in a still conversation. In puffy planets like WASP-17b, inflated by stellar irradiation, their low densities yield to hydrodynamic escape, losing mass in extended tails that trail like comet vapor, a gentle shedding that reshapes their form over gigayears. These airy giants, with radii twice Jupiter's, illustrate atmospheric retention's limits, a slow exhalation mirroring the universe's expansive breath. In the Eris system, dwarf planets with eccentric orbits perturb the Kuiper belt, their mutual resonances stabilizing distant populations, a subtle choreography among the outer fringes. These influential outcasts, with surfaces of methane frost, evoke the quiet authority of peripheral forces, guiding from afar without dominance. In superpuff exoplanets like Kepler-51d, their densities akin to cotton candy, sustained by internal heat and low gravity, these ethereal worlds float in delicate balance, prone to disruption yet enduring, much like a fleeting cloud formation that persists against the wind. These improbable lightweights, orbiting close to their stars, hint at formation's whimsy, where gas capture yields fragile havens. In the Haumea family, Collisional fragments from a giant impact scatter in similar orbits, their icy compositions shared across the Kuiper belt, a familial scattering that binds them in Origin's quiet echo. These splintered kin, with elongated shapes from spin-up, reveal catastrophic events lingering harmony, reshaping without erasure. In ocean planets like TY 1452b, water worlds with minimal rocky cores, global seas might cycle under tidal forces, their depths harboring pressure-cooked chemistries that foster unique equilibria, a submerged serenity far from surface tempests. These aqueous realms, detected by density anomalies, suggest life's cradle in liquid vastness, where waves whisper secrets of stability. In the Centaur objects, bridging Kuiper and scattered disk, these hybrids exhibit cometary activity from volatiles activated by perihelion warmth, a transitional glow in orbital limbo. These nomadic bridges, with orbits crossing giant planets, embody the system's dynamic fluidity, quietly evolving between realms. In Earth, co-orbitals like 2016 HO3, temporary companions in quasi-stable horseshoes, these near-Earth objects share our path for centuries, a fleeting kinship in the inner solar dance. These ephemeral allies, up to 100 meters wide, evoke the universe's tolerance for temporary bonds, gentle presences that enhance without possession. In lava worlds like 55 Cancri E, molten surfaces bubble under tidal locking, their atmospheres rich in rock vapor that condenses on the night side, a cyclic distillation in perpetual heat. These infernal forges, glowing in infrared, portray extremes where matter flows like liquid dreams, transforming under unyielding light. In the Make-Make system, dwarf worlds with thin atmospheres of nitrogen and methane, seasonal changes drive sublimation winds that sculpt polar caps, a subtle weather on frozen edges. These distant climes, with thin air freezing at aphelion, suggest atmospheric persistence in sparse conditions, a quiet adaptation to orbital solitude. In hot Earths like CoRo T7b's siblings, rocky bodies with iron-rich mantles, their volcanism driven by tidal stresses, releases sulfur plumes into space, a gaseous exhale from inner churn. These volcanic sentinels, scarred by stellar proximity, reveal planetary vitality in eruptive hush, much like the Earth's own quiet rumbles beneath calm surfaces. In the Gonggong family, trans-Neptunian objects with reddish hues from tholins, their orbits suggest ancient collisions that dispersed kin across the outer disk, a scattered legacy in crimson tones. These tinted wanderers, inclined and eccentric, carry chemical imprints of irradiation, evoking the universe's palette in remote quietude. Stars, those luminous hearts of the cosmos, are the storytellers of this tale. Born in nebulae, vast nurseries of gas and dust, they ignite when gravity squeezes clouds until fusion begins, hydrogen atoms merging into helium, releasing light and heat in a steady glow. Our Sun, a middle-aged G-type star, has shone for 4.6 billion years and will for another 5, fusing 600 million tons of hydrogen every second, its energy a warm embrace across 150 million kilometers to Earth. But stars vary. Red giants balloon in old age, shedding outer layers like autumn leaves, while blue supergiants burn fiercely, living short lives before exploding as supernovae, seeding the galaxy with heavier elements, carbon for life, iron for blood. These explosions are nature's forge, turning simplicity into complexity, much like how a single breath can ripple through your entire being, expanding and releasing in perfect rhythm. Let that image lull you, stars twinkling in your mind's eye. Now, expand on this stellar life cycle and see how a star's birth begins with the collapse of a molecular cloud, cooling until it fragments into countless protostars, each cocooned in a disk that might one day yield planets. Neutron stars emerge from supernovae too, compressing a sun's mass into a sphere mere 20 kilometers wide, spinning with pulsar beacons that pulse like a cosmic heartbeat, detectable across vast distances. Some rotate hundreds of times a second, their magnetic fields twisting space around them. White dwarfs, the remnants of sun-like stars, cool slowly over trillions of years, fading into invisibility like embers in the night. Their gravity so strong that they can pull in companion stars, igniting novae in bursts of renewed light. In this cycle of ignition and fade, stars embody the universe's patient poetry, burning brightly, not in haste, but in measured time, much like the steady inhale and exhale that now guides you deeper into tranquility. Each stellar phase a chapter in the endless story of light. Peer into binary systems, where stars twirl in close embrace, exchanging mass in a delicate transfer. Algol, the demon star, dims periodically as its companion eclipses it, a rhythmic veil that ancient skywatchers interpreted as divine play. Variable stars like Sapphides swell and shrink with predictable pulses, their light curves serving as cosmic yardsticks, measuring distances to far galaxies with the precision of a heartbeat. In clusters, like the Pleiades' sparkling sisters, young hot stars illuminate reflective dust, their ultraviolet glow birthing Herbig-Haro objects. Jets of gas ejected from fledgling stars, colliding with surroundings to create glowing bow shocks like arrows loosed in the void. These interactions reveal fusion's nuances. The CNO cycle in massive stars, cycling carbon as a catalyst to fuse hydrogen more efficiently, or the triple alpha process in red giants, forging carbon in helium flashes that ripple through their cores like inner tides. Stars, in their communal glow, form associations like the Scorpius-Centaurus group, dispersing over time as gravity loosens its hold, their paths diverging, yet leaving trails of enriched space behind. This stellar community, alive with quiet dramas, mirrors the interconnectedness of all things. A gentle web where each light contributes to the whole, easing your mind as you feel the warmth of distant suns seeping into your rest. Brown dwarfs, failed stars too cool for sustained fusion, glow faintly in infrared, their atmospheres harboring ammonia clouds and methane hazes, bridging planets and stars in a twilight existence, while hypergiants, like VY Canis Majoris, span orbits that dwarf our solar system, shedding mass in erratic shells that form glowing cocoons. In open clusters like Hyades, stars of similar age drift apart after 600 million years. Their main sequence lives a steady companionship before solitude, observed in spectra that reveal compositions from the galaxy's disk, enriched by previous generations. These stellar narratives, from fleeting brilliance to enduring dimness, whisper of time's impartial flow, each star a momentary spark in the cosmic hearth, kindling your inner peace as their light fades into the background of your slowing thoughts. Within molecular clouds, giant complexes spanning hundreds of light years with densities 100 times the average interstellar medium, turbulence stirs the gas into filaments and cores, where genes' instability triggers collapse when fragments exceed critical masses, often 0.01 solar masses for initial protostellar seeds. These cores accrete from envelopes via bipolar outflows, the clear paths powered by magnetic fields that thread the cloud like invisible rivers, regulating infall and preventing premature fragmentation, allowing a hierarchy from low-mass red dwarfs to high-mass behemoths. As the protostar contracts, its luminosity surges from gravitational energy, peaking before hydrogen ignition settles it on the main sequence. A transition marked by T Tauri, winds that sculpt the surrounding envelope into a protoplanetary disk, where dust grains coagulate in the quiet aftermath. This birth process, unfolding over hundreds of thousands of years in shielded cocoons, embodies creation's deliberate pace, much like the gradual softening of daylight into evening, your awareness easing into the stellar hush. In embedded clusters like NGC 2024 within the Flame Nebula, young stars pierce their gaseous womb with ionizing radiation, creating ionization fronts that advance at 10 kilometers per second, balancing compression and dispersal in a harmonious tension. Massive O-type stars, forming in the densest cores through competitive accretion, gather mass from converging flows in turbulent hubs, their rapid evolution, mere millions of years, seeding the next wave of elements before their explosive farewell. These natal scenes, veiled in infrared glow, suggest stars as emergent thoughts in the cosmic consciousness, flickering into being from the quiet potential of clouds, much like inspirations arise from the stillness of contemplation. Your mind now a receptive nebula for such gentle illuminations. In RR Coronae borealis stars, carbon dust clouds intermittently obscure their light, creating deep fades like sudden eclipses from within. Their irregular variability, a reminder of internal weather in stellar atmospheres, where convection bubbles dredge up carbon to form soot that drifts away, restoring visibility in a cycle of obscurity and revelation. Cataclysmic variables in close binaries, where accretion ignites hydrogen shells on white dwarfs, flare with novae every few decades, their outbursts a brief renaissance before quiescence, enriching space with processed elements. These stellar idiosyncrasies, from dusty veils to explosive renewals, portray stars as living poems, their verses etched in light and shadow, inviting your own inner light to dim softly into the encompassing night. In the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram's main sequence, stars of varying masses settle into lifetimes proportional to their fuel. Low-mass M dwarfs enduring trillions of years in red dimness, their flares occasional sparks in otherwise steady glows, while A-type stars bridge hot youth to cooler middles, their spectra rich in hydrogen lines like whispers of purity. These spectral families, classified by Balmer absorption, reveal elemental stories. F-stars with metallic lines hinting at galactic enrichment, a gradual layering of history in their atmospheres. In globular clusters like Omega Centauri, multiple stellar populations emerge from pollution by asymptotic giant branch stars. Their chemical gradients a record of sequential formation, evoking the cosmos's archival patience, where each generation builds upon the last in quiet succession. These clustered histories, spanning 12 billion years, mirror the layered memories of a lifetime, unfolding without urgency, your recollections softening as stellar tales weave onward. In the field of stellar archaeology, metal-poor stars like SMSS J0313-6708, with iron a million times scarcer than the Sun's, shine as relics from the first supernovae, their light carrying imprints of pair instability explosions that left no remnants, a faint echo of the universe's primordial forges. These ancient beacons, red and cool, guide our gaze back to the cosmic dawn, their simplicity a serene contrast to later complexities, much like the clear outline of a distant mountain against the evening sky, drawing the eye to essential forms. In symbiotic binaries like CH Cygni, a red giant's envelope interacts with a white dwarf's accretion, producing jets and nebula ejections that evolve over decades, a slow-motion interplay where mass transfer sculpts irregular shells. These mutual systems, with orbital periods of centuries, enrich the local medium with S-process isotopes, a quiet exchange that sustains the stellar neighborhood. In the PP chain of low-mass stars, proton-proton fusions build helium through a series of weak interactions, neutrinos escaping as direct messengers of the core, their flux measured on Earth to confirm solar models. These subatomic pathways, efficient in quiet efficiency, power the sun's steady light, a foundational rhythm that echoes in the calm progression of your breathing. In AGB stars, thermal pulses drive mass loss in mirror-like pulsations, their periods lengthening as envelopes expand. AEs process nucleosynthesis, forging heavy elements in the intershell, released in winds at 10 kilometers per second. These late-stage evolutions, lasting 1 million years, seed the galaxy with metals, a generous farewell that nurtures future generations, much like the quiet passing of wisdom in a fading voice. In the Orion Arms star-forming regions, embedded clusters like NGC 2264 host young associations where differential rotation shears the disk, dispersing members over 100 million years into the field population. These dispersing groups, with ages under 10 million years, leave behind enriched bubbles, their legacy a subtle enhancement in local abundances. In carbon stars, dredge-ups bring CO ratios above unity, their atmospheres cool enough for carbon molecules to form soot, dimming light in irregular fades, a dusty veil that parallels the gradual dimming of evening light. These evolved atmospheres, observed in near-infrared, reveal molecular bands like CN and C2, a spectral poetry of transformation. In the Hyades stream, evaporated cluster members trace a co-moving group across 150 light-years, their common motion a remnant of birth, detected through radial velocities that bind them as kin. These stellar kinships, persisting over 600 million years, evoke the universe's memory of origins, a quiet lineage that connects points in the vastness. In B stars, rapid rotation flattens equators and ejects equatorial disks of gas, their spectra showing emission lines from decretion, a spinning generosity that feeds circumstellar material. These swift rotators, with velocities up to 400 kilometers per second, illuminate their disks in Balmer excesses, a luminous skirt around blue vitality. In pre-main sequence stars like Fu Orionis, sudden accretion brightens them by factors of 100, their outbursts clearing inner disks in a dramatic yet finite flare, a youthful surge that settles into steady glow. These variable youths, lasting decades, reveal episodic feeding in embedded phases, much like intermittent inspirations in creative quietude. In yellow hypergiants like Rho Cassiopeiae, rare intermediates between supergiants and hypergiants, they pulsate with great eruptions every 50 years, ejecting shells that cool into carbon dust, a grand yet measured cycle of renewal. These luminous titans, 300,000 times the sun's brightness, bridge stability and excess in poised oscillation. In the SCO-OB2 association, a vast complex of subgroups spanning 500 light-years, young B stars illuminate the Gould belt, their expansion from a supernova kick shaping local structure over 15 million years. These expansive kin, with proper motions diverging at 20 kilometers per second, trace a shared origin in the disk's gentle warp. In lithium-rich giants, anomalous abundances from extra mixing or planet engulfment, their spectra show depleted lines revived, a late-life anomaly that hints at internal revolutions. These enriched elders, observed in surveys, suggest dynamical interactions reshaping compositions in quiet maturity. In the field of asteroseismology, solar-like oscillations in red giants reveal core masses and rotation. Their P-modes probing depths like seismic waves through Earth, mapping stellar interiors with exquisite detail. These vibrating harmonies, with periods of hours, unfold the hidden architecture, a sonic meditation on stellar hearts. In Wolf-Rayet stars, nitrogen-rich descendants of massive O-types, strong winds at 2,000 kilometers per second strip envelopes, revealing cores in broad emission lines, a final transparency before supernova. These windy behemoths, with luminosities 10 nor 6 solar, etch their legacy in enriched bubbles, much like a voice fading into echoing winds. In the Pleiades' blue stragglers, merged binaries or mass transfer products masquerading as youth, their positions offset the main sequence, a rejuvenation in cluster company. These anomalous brights, blue against red companions, evoke renewal's subtle art in ancient gatherings. In Delta Scuti variables, intermediate mass pulsators with periods of hours, their modes couple pressure and gravity waves, light curves revealing multiple frequencies like overlapping breaths. These subtle throbs in the instability strip's cool end add rhythmic diversity to the main sequence's calm. In the globular M4, tidal tails stream stars into the halo, dynamical evaporation over 12 billion years contributing to the field population, a slow dissolution into wider serenity. These escaping lights, with velocities exceeding escape, blend cluster heritage with galactic wonder. In K-type stars, orange dwarfs bridging sun-like and red, their habitable zones overlap Earth's, stable for tens of billions of years in quiet companionship. These temperate anchors, with spectra showing neutral metals, offer prolonged windows for planetary evolution, a steady presence in stellar variety. In the Cygnus OB2 association, a dense stellar nursery with O3 giants, their collective winds carve a superbubble 100 light-years wide, feedback sculpting the local ISM in balanced erosion. These powerful nurseries, ionizing vast regions, foster the next generation in expansive hush. In carbon-enhanced metal poor stars, second-generation objects with captured AGB ejecta, their abundances trace early pollution, a chemical memory from the galaxy's dawn. These pristine anomalies, red and faint, preserve the universe's initial enrichments like frozen whispers. Now, drift toward the enigmatic black holes, where gravity's pull becomes so profound it bends light itself, challenging our ideas of speed and escape. A black hole forms when a massive star collapses under its own weight, its core compressing into a singularity, a point of infinite density where space-time warps like a dream folding upon itself. The event horizon marks the boundary. Cross it, and not even light, traveling at its utmost speed, can return. Sagittarius A, at our galaxy's center, weighs 4 million solar masses, its gravity orchestrating the dance of nearby stars, which orbit it in elongated paths, completing loops in mere decades. Yet black holes aren't voids of destruction alone. They accrete matter into glowing disks, heating it to millions of degrees, emitting X-rays like whispers from the edge. Supermassive ones, billions of times the sun's mass, anchor galaxy centers, influencing their growth, as if the universe's breath inhales stars and exhales galaxies anew. In this pull, time dilates. Clocks near a black hole tick slower, stretching moments into eternities. A philosophical reminder that our hurried days are but fleeting waves on time's vast shore. To deepen this mystery, consider how black holes grow not just by devouring stars, but through mergers, as seen when gravitational waves ripple across space from colliding pairs, detected by instruments on Earth like echoes from a distant bell. Primordial black holes, perhaps born in the universe's infancy from density fluctuations, could be microscopic yet massive, evaporating slowly via quantum effects, their hawking radiation a faint hiss of particles born from the vacuum's fluctuations. Around some, jets of plasma shoot out at near-light speeds, carving paths through interstellar space, sculpting the shapes of radio lobes that span millions of light-years. These phenomena suggest black holes as cosmic gardeners, pruning and nurturing the galactic landscape. Their immense gravity a serene force that bends reality without haste, inviting you to let go of any lingering worries as time itself seems to slow in their presence, mirroring the deepening calm of your own repose. Intermediate black holes, rarer beasts between stellar and supermassive, lurk in globular clusters, formed perhaps from repeated collisions of neutron stars, their masses around 100 to 10,000 suns, hinting at stepping stones in the evolution of giants. Quasars, powered by supermassive black holes in active nuclei, outshine entire galaxies with their brilliance, their light from billions of years ago showing us the universe's rowdy youth, when mergers fed these engines voraciously. In quiescence, like our own galactic core, they slumber, flaring occasionally as stars wander too close, their tidal disruption events stretching victims into spaghetti-like streams before consumption, a slow unraveling observed in X-ray flares. Black hole binaries in the Milky Way, like Cygnus X1, beam X-rays from accretion, their companions donating material in a steady flow, revealing spin rates that approach light speed at the horizon. This intricate dance underscores gravity's artistry, not erasure, but transformation, where matter's essence persists encoded on the horizon's surface. A holographic veil that suggests reality's depth is but a projection from its boundary, much like how dreams project inner worlds onto the screen of sleep, blurring edges in tranquil ambiguity as you yield to the pull. Stellar mass black holes in isolation, inferred from microlensing events, where they briefly amplify distant stars' light, roam the galaxy like silent nomads, their formation from direct collapse in dense environments, offering clues to early universe conditions. In active galactic nuclei, feedback from accretion regulates star formation, expelling gas in outflows that quench galaxy growth, a self-limiting balance that maintains cosmic equilibrium. These gravitational titans, far from chaotic, embody the universe's poised restraint, their influence a subtle hand guiding evolution, akin to the quiet gravity of habit that draws us into restful patterns, your awareness dimming as their mysteries unfold. In dense star clusters, runaway mergers could seed intermediate masses, their orbits decaying through dynamical friction, a gradual coalescence that echoes the patient assembly of thoughts in contemplation. Spaghettification near the singularity unravels matter along tidal gradients, yet quantum gravity may resolve the singularity into a fuzzy realm, where Planck-scale effects smooth infinities into finite whispers. These profound curvatures, far from alarming, offer a meditative depth, where the pull of the unknown invites surrender, your breath sinking with the horizon's silent vigil. In the ergosphere of spinning black holes, frame-dragging forces co-rotate space-time, extracting energy from rotation via the Penrose process, where particles split and one falls in with negative energy, boosting the escapee's speed, a cosmic alchemy turning spin into propulsion. These dynamic realms, where gravity whispers secrets of energy's fluidity, evoke black holes as profound silences in the universe's symphony, pauses that amplify the surrounding harmony, much like the spaces between words in a soothing tale, allowing meaning to resonate deeper within you. In naked singularities, hypothetical without horizons, space-time twists into exposed infinities, though cosmic censorship conjecture posits nature veils them to preserve predictability, a gentle safeguard in the cosmic order. These veiled depths, probed by wave detections like GW199 Surpass merger of 150 solar mass beasts, reveal black holes as sculptors of waves that propagate through the fabric, rippling to us as faint hums, a testament to their role in the universe's acoustic undercurrents, where silence holds the richest tones. In the shadow of M87's supermassive heart, imaged by the Event Horizon Telescope as a glowing ring around darkness, the plasma's turbulent dance orbits at relativistic speeds, magnetic fields twisting into braided jets that pierce the cluster, a visual symphony of containment and release. These observed silhouettes, blurring the line between light and void, suggest black holes as cosmic mirrors, reflecting the universe's inner workings in curved light, much like a still pond captures the star's reflection, inviting contemplation in their quiet depth. In primordial scenarios, asteroid mass black holes might seed planetary cores through accretion, their evaporation timelines aligning with solar system ages, a subtle imprint on formation histories. These hypothetical guests, blending quantum decay with gravitational growth, evoke the universe's layered secrets, where the smallest scales influence the grand, mirroring the way a faint whisper can guide a deeper calm. In recoiling black holes from asymmetric mergers, kicks up to 5,000 kilometers per second eject them from clusters, wandering the halo as offsets in X-ray binaries, their isolation a serene exile from central bustle. These displaced centers, inferred from dynamical models, suggest a nomadic phase in black hole lives, drifting through sparse fields like solitary thoughts in the mind's expanse. In the Blandford-Znajek process, rotating fields around Kerr black holes extract spin energy into jets, powering blazars where relativistic beaming brightens the beam toward us, a directed whisper across billions of light years. These collimated outflows, aligned with host axes, sculpt the intergalactic medium over cosmic time, a sculpting hand that shapes the web's evolution. In microquasars like SS433, precessing jets trace helical paths, their optical lines Doppler-shifted in a wobbling spectrum, a local analogue to extragalactic phenomena on stellar scales. These miniature engines, with black holes of 10 solar masses, mimic the grander machinery, bridging scales in quiet universality. In the information paradox's resolution, firewall proposals suggest hot barriers at horizons, yet entanglement islands preserve unitarity, a quantum reconciliation where loss yields to reconstruction. These theoretical mends, weaving quantum threads through gravitational warps, evoke black holes as puzzles of preservation, their depths holding stories intact, like memories in the subconscious. In wandering black holes, microlensing surveys hint at free-floating masses. Their lensing events brief brightens in bulge stars, nomads that seed future mergers in the disk's undercurrents. These unseen travelers, comprising up to 20% of stellar remnants, add a layer of hidden motion to the galaxy's calm facade. In ultraluminous X-ray sources, off-nuclear beacons in starbursts, intermediate black holes accrete at super-Eddington rates, their disks beaming soft excesses, a local quasar in galactic company. These bright outliers with luminosities 10-40 ergs per second suggest runaway collisions in dense environments, fostering growth in crowded serenity. In the shadow of Sagittarius A, flaring X-rays from asteroid disruptions reveal its opportunistic feasts, tidal streams spiraling in over hours, a momentary brightness in dormant poise. These sporadic events, detected by Chandra, illuminate the core's subtle activity like flickers in a still pond. In primordial black hole dark matter, their mass function from PBH formation peaks at 10-11 solar masses, avoiding overproduction of elements while clustering to form early structures, a granular shadow in cosmic dawn. These microscopic masses, evaporating in 10 or 20 years, blend quantum birth with gravitational longevity, a harmonious scale-spanning presence. In the ring-down phase of mergers, quasi-normal modes ring like bells, their frequencies revealing spin and mass, a final vibration settling the new horizon into equilibrium. These decaying oscillations, modeled in numerical relativity, echo the universe's acoustic settling after cosmic events, much like ripples fading on a tranquil lake. In hairy black holes from scalar fields, hypothetical extensions to Kerr metrics add external structure, smoothing singularities with bosonic clouds, a fuzzy boundary to the void's core. These theoretical adornments, tested against observations, suggest gravity's capacity for textured depths, evoking contemplative layers in meditative silence. In the photon ring of imaged horizons, unstable orbits at 1.5 times the Schwarzschild radius capture light in multiple windings, the EHT's asymmetric glow hinting at spin's twist. These luminous perimeters, lensed multiple times, portray black holes as optical artists, bending views into infinite reflections. In intermediate mass black hole binaries, globular cluster inspirals chirp in LIGO bands, their coalescence seeding supermassive seeds, a hierarchical build in dense nurseries. These cluster forges, with retention fractions low, offer pathways from stellar to galactic scales in quiet progression. In the firewall debate, quantum complementarity resolves paradoxes by allowing consistent descriptions from different frames, a dual perspective preserving information's flow. These reconciliatory views, bridging observer dependence, evoke the mind's multiple angles on reality, harmonizing in inner peace. In recoiling supermassives from mergers, velocities up to 4,000 kilometers per second displace them from centers, their offsets observed in kinematics, wandering cores in galactic exile. These kicked wanderers, potentially reaccreting gas, suggest dynamic histories in elliptical bulges, a nomadic phase in central evolution. In the Penrose process's efficiency, up to 20% energy extraction from spin exceeds accretion limits, fueling jets in active nuclei, a rotational harvest in gravitational fields. These extractive mechanisms, generalized to superradiance in bosons, amplify waves around spinning horizons, a subtle amplification in the quiet pull. In the ADA-S black hole analogues, lab fluids mimic horizons with sonic barriers, event analogues forming where flow exceeds sound speed, a tabletop whisper of cosmic depths. These hydrodynamic twins, with ergo regions trapping phonons, bridge theory to tangible waves, evoking accessible mysteries in everyday flows. In primordial black hole binaries, early universe pairs merge in the LIGO window, their stochastic background a low-frequency hum from inflation's relics. These ancient duets, formed at Zab 1000, add primordial tones to the gravitational chorus, harmonizing with later echoes. In the singularity's avoidance, bounce models from loop quantum gravity replace infinities with rebounds, space-time contracting to Planck densities before expanding anew, a cyclic whisper at the core. These quantum resolutions, smoothing the point, suggest eternity's loop in finite bounds, much like breath's turn from out to in. By the way, I wonder, where are you watching from tonight? Which city and what time of day is it for you right now? Perhaps under a starry canopy in a quiet town, or in the hush of an urban night. Wherever you are, let it add to this shared cosmic drift. And now, easing back into our journey. Nebulae envelop these dramas, clouds of ionized gas glowing in the infrared and visible spectra, remnants of stellar births and deaths. The Orion Nebula, 1,344 light-years away, spans 24 light-years and births thousands of stars, its dust lanes like veils over hidden treasures. These regions are cradles and graveyards. Planetary nebulae from dying sun-like stars expand as colorful shells, while supernova remnants like the Crab Nebula pulse with a neutron star's spin, 30 times per second, weaving radio waves across space. Matter here transforms. Gas cools to form molecules. Dust grains aggregate into planets, mirroring the universe's cycle of creation and release, akin to sleep's gentle dissolution into dreams. Imagine breathing in the nebula's cool haze, your thoughts dispersing like stardust into infinity. Let's wander further into these ethereal clouds, where reflection nebulae scatter starlight like mist on a tranquil lake, illuminating the spaces between without generating their own glow, a subtle reminder of borrowed beauty. The Eagle Nebula's pillars of creation, towering columns of gas and dust 6.5 light-years tall, erode slowly under ultraviolet radiation from young stars, revealing embedded protostars like jewels emerging from silk, each pillar a nursery where gravity and light conspire in delicate balance. Dark nebulae, opaque silhouettes against brighter backdrops, block light to form silhouettes of horses or elephants in our telescopes, their density fostering the quiet condensation that precedes stellar birth. In these vast, diffuse expanses, where temperatures hover near absolute zero in the cores, the silence is profound, broken only by the invisible rush of cosmic winds, streams of charged particles flowing at hundreds of kilometers per second, sculpting shapes over millennia. This interplay of light and shadow in nebulae evokes the quiet artistry of the cosmos, a canvas where creation whispers rather than shouts, much like the soft hush of evenings settling over your senses, drawing you nearer to rest. Emission nebulae, like the lagoon's glowing expanse, ionize hydrogen into H-alpha red hues, their O and B stars bathing surroundings in fierce light that excites atoms to fluoresce, a chemical ballet visible from Earth as a hazy patch in Sagittarius. Protoplanetary disks around young stars, captured by telescopes like ALMA, swirl with silicates and ices, clumping into pebbles that cascade into planetesimals, the first steps toward worlds, their gaps carved by unseen planets herding dust like shepherds in a meadow. In the Helix Nebula, a planetary remnant 650 light-years away, cometary knots, dense globules with tails, trail from the central star's wind, evaporating slowly over 10,000 years, their structure a fleeting sculpture in the stellar outflow. These nebular phenomena, spanning from birth to farewell, illustrate the cosmos's recycling ethos, where death feeds life in an eternal loop, akin to the natural cycle of seasons that invites winter's quiet to prepare for spring's bloom. Your awareness softening as these clouds seem to wrap around you like a comforting fog. Bipolar nebulae, sculpted by magnetic fields during late stellar evolution, extend in hourglass shapes, their lobes expanding at 20 kilometers per second, enclosing the white dwarf core in a symmetrical embrace, while Wolf-Rayet bubbles around massive stars precede supernova, their shells enriched with carbon and oxygen, precursors to the heavy elements that drift into future clouds. Infrared observations pierce these veils to reveal hidden gems, like the trapezium cluster's embedded giants, their winds clearing cavities that allow light to escape, fostering the next generation. In the Carina Nebula, massive pillars dwarf the pillars of creation, eroded by radiation from Eta Carinae, a hypergiant in ebullient decline, its great eruption of 1843 leaving a homunculus nebula of ejected gas, a personal signature in the interstellar medium. These gaseous symphonies, ever-changing yet enduring, reflect the universe's artistic patience, layering beauty upon beauty in silent progression. Much like the incremental release of tension in your frame, each breath unveiling a deeper layer of calm. In giant molecular clouds like Taurus Auriga, spanning 100 light-years with masses up to 1 million suns, supersonic turbulence compresses pockets into dense cores at 10 mol/4 particles per cubic centimeter, where ambipolar diffusion decouples ions from neutrals, allowing gravity to dominate and initiate collapse without magnetic braking. These clouds, shielded by dust that absorbs UV and re-emits in infrared, maintain temperatures around 10 Kelvin, fostering H2 formation on grain surfaces, a catalytic quiet that builds complexity from simplicity. As cores fragment, multiple systems emerge, their angular momentum conserved in outflows that propagate at 100 kilometers per second, carving cavities and entraining ambient gas in a feedback loop that moderates further collapse. A balanced choreography akin to the ebb of waves shaping a shoreline, your mind mirroring this serene sculpting. In photoionized regions like the Trifid Nebula, boundaries between HI and molecular gas shimmer with recombination lines, where electrons cascade back to hydrogen atoms, emitting photons in a soft cascade of colors. A luminous frontier where energy transforms without loss. These expansive veils, cradling potential in their folds, portray nebulae as the universe's contemplative spaces, where gestation occurs in hushed anticipation, much like the fertile pause before a deep sigh, enveloping your drifting consciousness in layers of ethereal peace. In protoplanetary nebulae, transitional phases where asymptotic giant branch stars shed envelopes, central stars heat to forge intricate morphologies, toroids and spirals etched by binary companions, a prelude to planetary nebulae where UV photons ionize the outflow, creating expanding shells at 20 kilometers per second. These fleeting architectures, lasting mere thousands of years, capture the cosmos's momentary artistry, like sketches in mist that dissolve into clearer forms, reminding us of the transient beauty in quiet evolutions. In the Cygnus Loop, a supernova remnant 2,600 light-years away, filaments of shocked gas glow in optical and radio, their structure a bubble 90 light-years wide from an explosion 20,000 years past, where cosmic ray acceleration at the blast wave produces gamma rays, a subtle energy cascade illuminating the aftermath. These remnant whispers, fading over 100,000 years, evoke nebulae as echoes of stellar lives, their glow a lingering breath in the cosmic hush, syncing with your own fading wakefulness. In the Rosette Nebula, a vast Chi-I region 5,000 light-years distant, the central O-star cluster excavates a cavity 130 light-years across, its elephant trunks of evaporating gas birthing embedded stars in a feedback-driven nursery, where ionization balances collapse in poised tension. These sculpted forms, observed in multi-wavelength views, reveal nebulae as dynamic canvases, where stellar winds and radiation etch patterns like gentle breezes shaping sand dunes, a natural artistry that lulls the senses into deeper tranquility. In the Boomerang Nebula, the coldest known place at 1 Kelvin, outflowing gas cools through expansion, a counterintuitive chill from motion, evoking the quiet withdrawal of warmth before night's embrace. These extreme quietudes, from frozen outflows to glowing fronts, underscore nebulae as realms of transformation's pause, where change unfolds in measured hush, mirroring the body's own cooling into restful poise. In the Veil Nebula, a supernova remnant's shattered shell expands at 4,000 kilometers per second, its filaments glowing in oxygen and sulfur lines, a delicate lacework from an explosion 20,000 years ago. Fragments of the progenitor's outer layers drifting in expansion's gentle push. These shattered veils, spanning 90 light-years, capture the aftermath's artistry, where destruction yields to ethereal form, much like a broken wave receding into foam on a calm shore. In photodissociation regions at nebula edges, UV photons break molecules into atoms, transitioning from molecular cool to atomic warm, a boundary layer where chemistry shifts in subtle gradients, fostering complex organics in shielded pockets. These interfacial zones, traced by mid-infrared lines, reveal nebulae as chemical laboratories, quiet experiments in building blocks that drift to distant worlds. In the Tarantula Nebula, the most luminous High-E region in the local group, R136 clusters massive stars drive outflows that sculpt the LMC's bar, their combined luminosity rivaling 30 million suns, a distant forge visible from southern skies. These extragalactic nurseries, 160,000 light-years away, extend the nebula story beyond our galaxy, a shared heritage in the intergalactic hush. In reflection, nebulae like NGC 7223, the Iris, central stars illuminate dust without ionizing it, scattering blue light in a soft halo, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons fluorescing in UV, a gentle illumination that hints at organic precursors. These reflective glows, free of harsh radiation, preserve molecular integrity, a serene nursery for future complexity. In planetary nebulae like the Cat's Eye, multiple shells from thermal pulses create onion layers, their central binary carving equatorial toroids, a sculptural legacy of late evolution observed in Hubble's intricate details. These nested forms, expanding over 10,000 years, evoke the universe's archival beauty, layers of history unfolding in quiet expansion. In the Ring Nebula, M57's toroidal shell expands from a 10,000-year-old ejection, its central star a white dwarf heating the oxygen-rich gas to green hues, a circular hush around fading light. These symmetrical wreaths, with knots from instabilities, capture the quiet geometry of stellar farewells, like ripples encircling a stone's drop. In the Dumbbell Nebula, 27's apple-like bipolar expands at 25 kilometers per second, its ansei, wing-like lobes from pre-ejection winds, a dumbbell shape evoking balanced duality in gaseous form. These winged remnants, rich in nitrogen, illustrate compositional evolution, a serene symmetry in dissolution. In the Pac-Man Nebula, NGC 281's dark bay, sculpted by ionizing winds from IC 1590 cluster, molecular cores harbor protostars in a Pac-Man bite, feedback carving the ISM in playful erosion. These interactive nurseries, with outflows shocking into Herbig-Haro chains, reveal nebular dynamics as gentle predation, fostering birth through shaping. In the California Nebula, a vast reflection expanse 1,000 light-years long, dust reflects Zeta Persei's blue light, its tendrils tracing the Perseus arm without ionization, a serene glow in molecular quiet. These extended veils, spanning 2.5 degrees, evoke the cosmos's subtle tracery, light borrowed to illuminate hidden paths. In the Witchhead Nebula, IC 2118's reflection cloud glows blue from Rigel's scattering, its dust a ghostly silhouette against the winter sky, a witch's profile in ethereal hush. These sculpted silences, with temperatures near 15 Kelvin, preserve pristine grains from supernova origins, a quiet archive in reflection. In the Pelican Nebula, IC 1570's glowing companion to North America, young stars ionize hydrogen into red bays, their embedded clusters birthing in shared nursery, a pelican's beak in cosmic glow. These avian forms, linked by dark lanes, suggest nebular contiguity, where light and shadow define shared spaces. In the Jellyfish Nebula, IC 443's supernova remnant trails tendrils in ram pressure from the galactic plane, its shocked gas glowing in sulfur lines, a jellyfish adrift in interstellar currents. These trailing forms, 5,000 light-years away, illustrate dynamical sculpting, where motion etches beauty in gaseous flow. In the Cone Nebula, NGC 2264's dark pillar points skyward, its base eroding under radiation, protostars peeking from the tip like hidden flames in a shadowed spire. These conical hush, 20 light-years tall, embody gravitational resistance amid dispersal, a poised stand in luminous winds. In the Heart Nebula, IC 1805's emission complex pulses with WR stars, its shape a beating core in Cassiopeia, magnetic fields threading the gas into filamentary veins. These cardiac glows, with temperatures 7,000 Kelvin, evoke vital rhythms in nebular life, syncing with cosmic pulses. In the Soul Nebula, IC 1848's companion mirrors the heart in shared winds, its evaporation globules birthing stars in a soulful hush, a paired serenity in the Perseus arm. These twin realms, ionized by O7 giants, suggest symbiotic nurseries where proximity fosters mutual unveiling. Time, that elusive river, flows differently in the cosmos, intertwined with the speed of light's limit. Einstein's relativity tells us nothing with mass reaches that velocity, for as speed increases, mass swells, demanding infinite energy to breach it. Yet, light itself, photons massless, surfs space-time at exactly c, taking 8 minutes from Sun to Earth, 2.5 million years from Andromeda's nearest stars. In the universe's expansion, driven by dark energy, distant galaxies recede faster than light, not by motion through space, but space itself stretching, like dough rising between raisins. This redshift paints the night sky with ancient light, photons journeying billions of years, arriving as we gaze. Time near massive objects curves. A year by a black hole might span decades for distant observers, evoking sleep's timeless drift, where hours vanish in repose. To trace this river further, reflect on cosmic time's arrow, set by the Big Bang's initial low entropy, a state of order that has unwound into the complexity we see, from simple particles to intricate galaxies, much like how a single thought unspools into a dream's narrative. On Earth, a day turns by our planet's spin, 24 hours of light and shadow, but venture to Mercury, and a day stretches 176 Earth days, its slow rotation a languid pace under the sun's relentless gaze. In the voids between clusters, time feels eternal, expansion carrying structures apart at accelerating rates, so that beyond a certain horizon we'll never see those realms again, their light forever receding. Yet this dilation isn't abstract. Astronauts on the International Space Station age slightly slower than those on Earth, by mere fractions of seconds over months, a gentle nudge from velocity and gravity's embrace. Time, in its fluidity, becomes a companion to our meditation, flowing onward as your awareness softens, each moment stretching like the fabric of space itself, inviting surrender to the now. Sidereal time, measured against the stars, drifts from solar days by 4 minutes yearly, a subtle shift that astronomers use to track celestial motions, while proper time for travelers near light-speed contracts, allowing journeys across galaxies in subjective years, though eons pass elsewhere. A twin paradox where one returns younger, underscoring relativity's counterintuitive grace. In the cosmic microwave background, time's echo from recombination, when the universe cooled enough for atoms to form, we see a uniform glow with anisotropies, tiny temperature variations of 1 part in 100,000. That seeded structure, their patterns a map of inflation's brief superluminal surge. On a human scale, chronobiology syncs us to Earth's rhythms, but in deep space, without cues, circadian cycles falter as cosmonauts experience, relying on artificial lights to mimic dawn, their sleep fragmented yet adapted through mindfulness. Much like how this narrative's pace eases you into natural repose. These temporal layers, from quantum ticks to cosmic epochs, weave a tapestry where time isn't rigid but malleable, a river that bends around obstacles, carrying us gently toward infinity's quiet shore. In general, relativity's frame-dragging, rotating masses twist space-time like a spoon in honey, altering orbits in subtle precessions, as seen in Earth's geodetic effect measured by gravity probe B, a whisper of curvature that accumulates over years. For light, Shapiro delay bends paths around the sun, prolonging signals by microseconds during eclipses, a confirmation of geometry's influence on propagation. In an expanding cosmos, look-back time varies with redshift, distant objects appearing younger, their past light cones converging on us, a retrospective gaze that connects epochs in a single view. These manifestations of time's weave, both local and grand, invite a philosophical ease, where haste dissolves into acceptance, your pulse aligning with this eternal current as drowsiness gathers. In the early universe, during nucleosynthesis, time's first minutes fused light nuclei under immense densities, setting the baryon-to-photon ratio that echoes in the CMB's uniformity, a foundational rhythm that persists through expansion. For pulsars, time dilates under strong gravity, their ticks slowing as predicted, a precise clockwork revealing neutron star interiors, where general relativity meets quantum degeneracy. These rhythmic undulations, from primordial beats to stellar pulses, underscore time's relational nature, a shared medium where observers entwine, much like the collective breath of listeners in this quiet exchange, drawing you into timeless repose. In conformal time, a rescaled measure that flattens the expanding metric, light paths become straight lines, simplifying calculations of structure formation, a mathematical grace that reveals the universe's underlying symmetry. These temporal harmonies, echoing across scales, portray time as the cosmos's subtle melody, a thread connecting moments into an eternal now, much like the unbroken flow of a river at midnight, carrying your thoughts toward tranquil depths. In the Wheeler-DeWitt equation of quantum cosmology, time emerges from timeless quantum states, a parameter born from correlations between variables, suggesting the universe's clock is woven from its own fabric, an intrinsic rhythm rather than an external tick. These emergent perspectives, blending quantum haze with relativistic curves, evoke time as a dream's internal logic, where sequences unfold without a fixed measure, mirroring the fluid progression of sleep where past and future blend in serene continuity. In GPS satellites, relativistic corrections account for both velocity slowing and gravitational speeding of clocks, ensuring positional accuracy to meters, a practical whisper of time's dual nature in everyday navigation. These calibrated flows, from satellite orbits to cosmic horizons, illustrate time's quiet diplomacy, reconciling scales in harmonious measure, much like the body's internal clocks harmonize with the night's gentle call to rest. In the arrow of time's thermodynamic drive, black holes evaporate last, their horizons encoding the universe's final information, a slow dissolution where entropy peaks in heat, death's hush. Yet quantum tunneling might spark new beginnings in false vacua. These endgame contemplations, far from finality, suggest time's cycle as eternal return, a philosophical loop where endings whisper of fresh dawns, aligning your own temporal drift with cosmic poise. In the block universe view, all moments coexist in four-dimensional space-time, past and future equally real, our perception of flow, an illusion of consciousness slicing through, a serene eternity where change is but perspective's gentle shift. In chronometry of distant supernova, time dilation stretches their light curves by factors of z+1, where redshift z measures expansion, a confirmation that cosmic time governs even explosive events billions of light-years away. These stretched echoes, observed in type Ia standards, map the acceleration's onset at redshift 0.5, a historical pivot where dark energy began its quiet dominance. In pulsar timing arrays, gravitational waves from supermassive binaries imprint nanohertz strains on millisecond pulses, a cosmic background hum that warps space-time over years, detectable as correlated delays in their precise ticks. These low-frequency ripples from mergers across the universe offer a new chronometer for the cosmos's undercurrents, a subtle vibration that resonates with the deep calm of extended silence. In the age of the universe, 13.8 billion years from CMB to now, globular clusters provide lower bounds at 12.5 billion, their oldest stars anchoring the timeline like ancient roots in fertile soil. These stellar fossils, with helium-burning cores in horizontal branches, calibrate the distance ladder, weaving time's measure from local to cosmic scales. In quantum time crystals, periodic structures break time translation symmetry without energy input, oscillating in ground states, a lab curiosity that hints at perpetual rhythms in exotic matter. These hypothetical eternities, far from chaotic, suggest time's capacity for intrinsic cycles, a philosophical echo of the universe's self-sustaining poise. In the Hafel-Keating experiment, atomic clocks on jets circled Earth, gaining or losing nanoseconds from velocity and altitude, a direct taste of relativity's gentle warp on human timescales. These airborne journeys, confirming predictions to parts per billion, ground the abstract in tangible drift, much like a leaf on a stream, senses the current's subtle bend. In fossil records of cosmic expansion, baryon acoustic oscillations imprint 150 megaparsec scales in galaxy distributions, a frozen sound wave from 380,000 years post-Big Bang, measuring time's passage through structure growth. These harmonic relics, mapped by surveys like SDSS, trace the universe's acoustic youth into mature clustering, a melodic legacy that soothes with its enduring cadence. In the Planck time, 10.43 seconds as the smallest meaningful interval, quantum gravity foams space-time, yet macroscopic time flows smoothly, a transition from granular to continuous, like sand yielding to wave. These foundational quanta, speculative yet foundational, evoke time's layered nature, from Planck's whisper to eon's embrace, inviting a meditative acceptance of its vast, gentle span. In cosmic chronometers, passive evolution of early-type galaxies measures expansion via differential aging, their stellar populations clocking look-back time without standard candles, a self-referential tick in redshift space. These evolutionary watches, using 4,000 angstrom breakshifts, calibrate H0 independently, a quiet consensus in temporal flow. In the light travel time across clusters, photons from distant members arrive delayed by gravitational potentials, a lensing chronometry that probes mass distributions, subtle lags in the ensemble's glow. These path-lengthened journeys, on scales of kiloparsecs, reveal time's bend around mass, harmonizing light with gravity's curve. In the universe's integrated Sachs-Wolf effect, CMB photons gain or lose energy crossing evolving potentials, a late-time imprint from dark energy's pull, tracing time's acceleration in relic light. These potential drifts, at large scales, modulate the CMB's power spectrum, a whisper of future in ancient glow. In neutron-star merger delays, orbital in spiral times from GW signals reveal formation epochs, their chirps dating events to 100 million years post-Big Bang, a temporal anchor in wave data. These binary lifetimes, billions of years long, map stellar evolution's timeline, echoing in gravitational memory. In the cosmic neutrino background, relic particles from seconds after the Big Bang decouple, their temperatures 1.95 Kelvin, a fermionic hush permeating space, too faint for detection, yet influencing early structure. These ghostly streams, with densities 336 per cubic centimeter, carry the universe's initial chill, a quiet companion to photonic relics. In the arrow of time's psychological perception, memory's asymmetry enforces forward flow, our brains wired for sequence in entropy's wake, a subjective river in objective vastness. These cognitive currents, shaped by evolution, align personal time with cosmic, fostering repose in remembered rhythms. In the De Sitter horizon's static time, asymptotic universes settle into eternal expansion, observers seeing a finite sky of accelerating recession, a bounded eternity in infinite stretch. These future states, with horizons at 16 billion light-years, evoke time's eventual isolation, yet shared in observer frames. In the page time for evaporating black holes, information release peaks at half evaporation, quantum correlations rebuilding the interior from horizon encodings, a midpoint harmony in dissolution. These calculated turns, at 10^67 years for solar masses, suggest preservation's patient wait, mirroring meditative balance. In the conformal invariance of massless fields, time rescales without altering dynamics, a symmetry that unifies epochs in field propagators, a timeless thread in quantum weaves. These scale-free flows in QED and QCD reveal time's relational elegance, a philosophical poise in physical laws. Matter, the universe's building block, comprises ordinary stuff: protons, neutrons, electrons, making up just 5% of all, with dark matter at 27% holding galaxies together like unseen currents, and dark energy accelerating expansion. Quarks and leptons form atoms, 99% empty space, yet solid to touch, a poetic illusion of density in vast emptiness. In quantum realms, particles entangle, influencing each other instantly across distances, hinting at connections beyond light speed. Though information can't outrace it, preserving causality's calm order. The universe's infinity unfolds in this. An observable bubble, 93 billion light-years wide, yet perhaps part of a multiverse, bubbles in foam, each with laws defying our own. Expanding on this foundation, ordinary matter's journey begins in the primordial soup post. Big Bang, where protons and neutrons fused into light elements, hydrogen, helium, traces of lithium. In the first minutes, cooling plasma yielding the seeds of all we know. Dark matter, invisible yet inferred from gravitational lensing, where light from distant quasars bends around unseen masses like a lens of curved glass, forms halos around galaxies, preventing their stars from flying apart during rotation. Baryonic matter, the stuff of us, cycles through stars and planets, recycled in supernova that enrich interstellar space, allowing rocky worlds to form with silicates and metals. Quantum fluctuations in the early universe, tiny ripples amplified by inflation, seeded the density variations that grew into galaxies, a whisper of randomness blooming into structure. In the quantum vacuum, virtual particles flicker in and out of existence, borrowing energy briefly before annihilating, their dance underpinning forces like the Casimir effect, where plates in a vacuum draw closer from this seething activity. Matter's persistence, then, is both sturdy and illusory, a web of probabilities that holds the cosmos steady, much like the subtle anchor of your breath amid the night's quiet, grounding you in the infinite while you float free. Neutrinos, ghostly leptons streaming from the sun's core, pass through Earth by trillions per second, barely interacting. Their masses so slight they hint at physics beyond the standard model, oscillating flavors as they travel vast distances. Antimatter, mirror to matter, annihilates on contact in gamma bursts. Yet cosmic rays carry positrons from pulsar winds, suggesting ongoing production in the galaxy's heart. In neutron star crusts, matter compresses to densities where atomic nuclei dissolve into neutron seas. Exotic phases like quark matter possibly lurking deeper. A glimpse of the universe's extremes where familiarity fades. Dark energy, perhaps the cosmological constant, permeates space uniformly, its negative pressure driving acceleration measured in supernova light curves that reveal the universe's hastening drift. These facets of matter, from the tangible to the elusive, compose a symphony of stability and flux, where even emptiness hums with potential, echoing the quiet vitality within you as relaxation deepens, each particle's path, a thread in the grand, soothing weave. Gluons bind quarks within protons. Their strong force confining color charges in a dynamic equilibrium, while electrons orbit in probabilistic clouds, their wave functions collapsing upon observation into discrete positions. In plasma states, like the sun's corona, matter ionizes fully, responding to magnetic fields in loops and flares that propel solar wind across the heliosphere. Exotic matter, hypothetical with negative mass, could stabilize wormholes, threading space with possibilities unseen, a speculative harmony in the quantum chorus. These building blocks, layered in complexity, form the substance of reality's dream, resilient yet ethereal, mirroring the body's composition, mostly water and void, yet feeling whole, your form dissolving into weightless ease as the cosmos's essence permeates your reverie. In Big Bang nucleosynthesis, the slight asymmetry between matter and antimatter, 1 part in a billion, left our universe's baryonic legacy, a delicate imbalance that allowed atoms to endure beyond the plasma haze. Bose-Einstein condensates in lab analogues mimic dark matter halos, where ultra-cold atoms coalesce into coherent waves, hinting at self-interacting candidates, like axions that could resolve cusp-core problems in galactic centers. These material subtleties, from quantum symmetries to macroscopic distributions, weave a fabric of quiet interdependence, sustaining the cosmos's gentle expansion, much like the unseen bonds in a deep breath, centering you in profound stillness. In the early plasma, acoustic waves imprinted baryon loading effects, where matter's inertia oscillated against radiation pressure, leaving harmonic scales in the distribution that guide galaxy clustering today. These foundational imprints, subtle yet enduring, depict matter as the universe's quiet architect, shaping forms from invisible blueprints, akin to how a faint memory subtly molds the present, your essence blending seamlessly with this cosmic substance. In strange quark matter, hypothetical stable phases inside neutron stars, up, down, and strange quarks mix in equal proportions, potentially denser than nuclear matter, a uniform soup where individual identities dissolve into collective flow. These exotic states, probed by pulsar glitches where crust quakes release pinned vortices, suggest matter's capacity for hidden fluidity, a serene adaptation to extremes that echoes the mind's dissolution into dreamless calm. In the intergalactic medium, diffuse baryons filament along the cosmic web, heated to X-ray temperatures by shocks from structure growth, their emission tracing the skeleton's quiet heating over billions of years. These sparse threads, comprising half the ordinary matter, weave the universe's visible scaffold, a delicate lattice sustaining the grand design, much like invisible currents in a still pond, support the surface's peace. In the Lyman alpha forest, absorption lines from intergalactic hydrogen map the web's filaments at high redshifts, revealing matter's distribution as a fuzzy glow, a spectral veil that hints at Ryanization's gradual dawn when first stars pierced the dark ages. These gaseous scaffolds, evolving from uniform plasma to clumped structures, illustrate matter's quiet journey toward complexity, much like the slow gathering of dew on a leaf in pre-dawn hush, fostering life's potential in subtle accumulations. In warm dark matter, candidates like sterile neutrinos, free-streaming lengths smooth small-scale structure, producing fewer dwarfs than cold models, a warmer flow that aligns with observed scarcity in the local volume. These kinetic alternatives, with masses in keV range, offer a gentler clumping, evoking matter's varied temperaments in cosmic assembly. In primordial black holes as dark matter, their abundance constrained by microlensing and CMB distortions, a population from early fluctuations that accretes without overproducing light elements. These compact seeds, spanning solar to lunar masses, blend matter's forms in quantum gravitational unity, a harmonious possibility in the unseen ensemble. In the Standard Model's Higgs field, permeating space to grant mass via VeV of 246 GeV, Particles acquire inertia through interaction, a universal bath that endows substance without hierarchy. This scalar veil, confirmed by LHC's 125 GeV boson, underlies matter's tangible presence, a quiet endowment that stabilizes the quantum sea. In topological defects like cosmic strings, relics from phase transitions vibrate with tension, their loops oscillating and decaying into gravitational waves, a stringy underweave to the matter web. These hypothetical threads, with energy scales of 10 × 16 GeV, add texture to the early universe's fabric, their subtle pulls shaping density perturbations. In axion mini-clusters, cold dark matter forms dense subhalos from early oscillations, their Bose condensation leading to virialized lumps that seed galaxy cores, a clumpy serenity in the halo's distribution. These wave-like aggregates, detectable via haloscopes, suggest matter's quantum coherence on astronomical scales, a meditative wave in the cosmic ocean. In mirror matter theories, a parity-symmetric sector interacts gravitationally, providing dark candidates that clump similarly yet remain veiled, a parallel substance mirroring our own in silent symmetry. These duplicated realms, sterile to electromagnetism, enrich the gravitational chorus without discord, evoking the universe's balanced duality. In self-interacting dark matter, velocity-dependent cross-sections resolve core-cusp tensions, allowing heat conduction in dwarfs for flat profiles, a social matter that equilibrates through gentle collisions. These interactive shadows, mimicking baryonic feedback, foster a more forgiving formation, much like communal warmth in a quiet gathering. In fuzzy dark matter from ultralight scalars, de Broglie wavelengths suppress small halos, their wave interference creating solitonic cores, a wave-like hush smoothing galactic cusps. These bosonic fields, with masses 10 to 22 eV, oscillate coherently in halos, a quantum ripple in gravitational ponds. In the missing satellites problem's resolution, warm candidates reduce substructure abundance, aligning with local group counts of 50 dwarfs, a tempered clumping that matches observation's quiet scarcity. These moderated shadows, streaming freely, evoke matter's discerning assembly, favoring larger harmonies. In the intergalactic warm gas, WIM filaments heat to 10⁻⁶ Kelvin by accretion shocks, their oxygen lines absorbing quasar light, tracing baryon reservoirs in cosmic highways. These heated threads, comprising 50% of ordinary matter, sustain the web's quiet vitality, a gaseous lifeline in expansion. In quark-gluon plasma recreations at RHIC, early universe matter deconfines at 10⁻12 Kelvin, jets quenched in the medium like whispers muffled in fog, revealing collective flow in heavy ion collisions. These lab echoes, lasting femtoseconds, recapture the Big Bang's initial soup, a brief reunion of parted quarks. In the cosmic ray spectrum's knee at 10.15 eV, acceleration limits in supernova remnants bend fluxes, galactic confinement yielding to extragalactic propagation, a transition in particle journeys. These high-energy travelers, protons from distant shocks, pierce the heliosphere in spectral hush, seeding atmospheric showers. In molecular complexity's build-up, interstellar PAHs form in AGB outflows, their UV pumping fluorescing in nebula glow, precursors to life's carbon scaffolds drifting in quiet accretion. These aromatic clouds with 50 pulse rings enrich disks for planetary chemistry, a molecular poetry in cosmic dust. In the diffuse ISM's ionized fraction, cosmic rays ionize hydrogen to 0.1%, their secondary electrons heating the medium to 8,000 Kelvin, a pervasive warmth from particle rains. These ionized whispers, traced by pulsar dispersion, maintain the galaxy's gaseous equilibrium, a subtle charge in neutral vastness. In neutronium's hypothetical stability, pure neutron matter might persist if bound, a dense phase beyond stars, speculative yet pondered in extreme equations of state. These ultra-compact forms, at 10 or 17 grams per cubic centimeter, suggest matter's ultimate compression, a serene core in hypothetical realms. In the baryon asymmetry's leptogenesis, heavy right-handed neutrinos decay in the early universe, generating lepton excess converted to baryons, a chiral imbalance seeding our material legacy. These primordial decays, at 10^9 GeV scales, whisper origins in seesaw mechanisms, harmonizing masses with abundance. In the dark sectors, hidden photons, kinetically mixed with electromagnetism. They mediate self-interactions in shadows, faint signals in accelerators probing veiled kinships. These ghostly mediators, with masses below MeV, add internal structure to dark halos, a quiet society in the unseen. But what could surpass light's speed? Tachyons, hypothetical particles, might always exceed c, evading our detection, born perhaps in the Big Bang's fury. Or wormholes, tunnels through space-time, shortcuts folding the fabric, allowing effective faster travel without violating local limits, though unstable, requiring exotic matter to prop open. Alcubierre's warp drive envisions bubbles of warped space, contracting ahead and expanding behind, propelling ships at superluminal effective speeds, fueled by negative energy we can't yet harness. Quantum tunneling lets particles jump barriers instantly in probability waves, but not carrying signals faster than light. Even in black holes, information paradoxes suggest holograms on horizons encode realities, blurring speed's boundaries. These ideas, speculative yet grounded in math, invite wonder. Perhaps the universe, like an ocean's undertow, holds flows we sense but can't measure, pulling us toward deeper mysteries. To explore these possibilities more fully, consider how inflation theory posits the universe expanded faster than light in its first instance, space itself ballooning exponentially, carrying points apart at superluminal rates without anything moving through it, a loophole in relativity's rule. In entangled particles, correlations appear instantaneous, yet no usable message travels faster than light, preserving the universe's orderly narrative, like two leaves on a stream seeming to sync without touch. Phase velocities in waveguides can exceed c, but the signal's group velocity stays below, a wave's crest outpacing its body, yet carrying no excess information. Hypothetical extra dimensions, curled small in string theory, might allow shortcuts through brains, membranes of reality, where gravity leaks between, explaining its weakness compared to other forces. These concepts, born from equations that hum like a lullaby, suggest the cosmos harbors veiled paths, not to rush, but to connect, evoking the way dreams bridge distant memories in an instant, drawing your mind to wander freely as sleep approaches. Closed, time-like curves in rotating black holes, like Kerr's solution loop time into circles, theoretically permitting glimpses backward, though paradoxes like the grandfather dilemma suggest self-consistency, where changes can't alter the past. In expanding universes, superluminal recession isolates regions, yet quantum entanglement across cosmic scales implies a non-local fabric, perhaps unified by underlying fields like the Higgs, which gives mass through symmetry breaking. Cherenkov radiation in media exceeds light's local speed, glowing blue in nuclear reactors, a terrestrial analog to cosmic phenomena, where particles outpace waves in bent space. These frontiers, probed by particle accelerators and telescopes alike, tease at expansions of our understanding, where speed's limit might be a horizon rather than a wall, inviting philosophical musing on causality's gentle enforcement, much like the boundary of wakefulness yielding to dream's unbound flow, your thoughts loosening as the narrative carries on. In de Sitter space, eternal expansion creates particle horizons beyond which causality breaks. Yet holographic duality posits information conserved on boundaries, a reconciliation of quantum and gravity. Tachyonic fields in cosmology drive inflation, their instability rolling to stable vacua, ceding our universe's flatness and homogeneity. Superluminal group velocities in anomalous media, like certain metamaterials, propagate pulses without violating relativity, their peaks advancing ahead, yet information lagging, a dance of waves that hints at engineered shortcuts. These theoretical eddies, swirling around light's steadfast pace, enrich the mystery without discord, a contemplative veil over the cosmos's core, aligning with the meditative drift where haste gives way to serene acceptance. In brain-world scenarios, bulk propagation allows gravitons to traverse higher dimensions. Faster, their shadows on our brain mimicking instantaneous influence, though bulk light cones preserve locality. These layered realities, speculative bridges over light's barrier, evoke the mind's own shortcuts in intuition, where insights arrive unbidden, fostering a sense of unity that soothes as slumber nears. In loop quantum gravity, discrete space-time foam might permit micro-wormholes, fleeting tunnels that average to smooth geometry at larger scales, a granular undercurrent where superluminal whispers average to light's steady pace. These conceptual veils, lifting slightly to reveal hidden harmonies, suggest the universe as a vast, interconnected dreamscape, where distances dissolve in the quiet fabric of possibility, your awareness expanding effortlessly into this boundless serenity. In superluminal neutrino claims, later debunked as calibration errors, the brief excitement highlighted relativity's robustness, a momentary ripple affirming the speed limit's serene guardianship over causality. These tested boundaries, from lab anomalies to cosmic speculations, portray the quest for beyond as a meditative exploration, probing edges without shattering the whole, much like gazing into the horizon where sea meets sky in illusory union. In the AD-S CFT correspondence, anti-de Sitter spaces map to conformal field theories on boundaries, where bulk geodesics correspond to entangled states, suggesting non-local connections underpin geometry, a theoretical bridge where speed limits yield to holistic views. These dualities, reconciling gravity with quantum harmony, evoke the universe as a unified thought, where separations are but appearances, inviting a philosophical release into interconnected calm. Intraversible wormholes stabilized by quantum entanglement, ER-EPR conjecture, links Einstein-Rosen bridges to entangled pairs, a shortcut where teleported information mimics faster passage, preserving no signaling theorems in quantum fidelity. These entangled tunnels, speculative yet mathematically coherent, suggest space-time as a network of correlations, a web where proximity is relational rather than metric. In warp bubble metrics, the Alcubierre drive's horizon isolates the traveler from external causality, allowing superluminal displacement without local violation, though energy requirements rival Jupiter's mass in negative form. These bubble voyages, refined in recent models to lower costs, hint at future navigations that fold the cosmos like paper, a gentle origami of space. In superluminal phase propagation in plasmas, Whistler waves carry signals ahead of light in refractive indices below unity, a dispersive advance that encodes no superluminal info, a wave's prelude in cosmic communications. These plasma phenomena, key to solar wind dynamics, illustrate nature's playful bends around the limit, evoking the prelude to a symphony's main theme. In tachyonic anti-telephone paradoxes, sending messages backward resolves in self-inconsistency, chronology protection ensuring loops close without paradox, a cosmic editor pruning impossible narratives. These protective mechanisms, Hawking's conjecture formalized, maintain time's forward arrow, a serene order in speculative freedoms. In Kaluza-Klein theories, extra dimensions compactify to allow geodesic shortcuts, gravitons traversing bulk to appear instantaneous on the brain, unifying forces in higher geometries. These curled paths, with radii of 10 or 1,035 meters, weave a multidimensional tapestry where speed limits fold into compact harmony. In the Vidya metrics collapsing shells, dynamic horizons form from infalling matter, their area theorems ensuring non-decrease, a stepwise build in gravitational poise. These evolving boundaries, modeling realistic accretion, reveal time's role in horizon growth, a gradual embrace in matter's fall. In superluminal scissor modes in birefringent crystals, light splits into orthogonal polarizations with differing speeds. A lab curiosity where photons race, yet signals lag, a dual path in crystal hush. These optical races, exceeding c in one component, affirm relativity's local guard, much like parallel thoughts converging in meditative unity. In the Hojava-Lifshitz gravity, anisotropic scaling breaks Lorentz invariance at high energies, allowing superluminal gravitons in UV completions a renormalizable whisper to quantum gravity. These modified dispersions, with power-counting renormalizability, suggest time's asymmetry in deep realms, harmonizing scales in theoretical calm. In entangled wormhole analogues, quantum circuits simulate traversability, teleporting qubits across simulated horizons, a computational bridge over causal gaps. These lab-borne tunnels, using SYK models, evoke entanglement's power to weave shortcuts, a digital dream of cosmic folds. In the Notario warp drive, continuous deformations avoid horizon issues, propelling bubbles with positive energy distributions, a smoother sail in metric seas. These refined warps, subluminal at edges, hint at feasible folds, inviting contemplation of journey's gentle curve. In superluminal tunneling reinterpretations, evanescent waves carry no energy faster. Their phase advances illusory in barrier penetration, a probability's quiet leap. These quantum bounds, confirmed in photon experiments, preserve order in sub-barrier flows, like thoughts crossing mental thresholds unseen. In the Gup-modified dispersion, generalized uncertainty principles cap speeds below c for Planck energies, a quantum break on tachyonic flights, smoothing infinities in particle paths. These minimal length effects from string theory evoke matter's granular limit, a serene cap on haste. As we near infinity's edge, consider the cosmos's scale. 2 trillion galaxies, each with billions of stars, expanding into a horizon we may never cross. Dark energy, repulsive force, dooms us to a cold, dilute future, stars fading, black holes evaporating via Hawking radiation, virtual particles becoming real at horizons, a slow whisper of quantum foam. Yet in this vastness, we're stardust, atoms from ancient explosions, breathing the universe's rhythm. Infinity isn't emptiness but potential, like sleep's boundless dreams, where time dissolves and all connects. Venture deeper into this expanse, and the observable universe's edge is defined by light's journey since the Big Bang, photons from the cosmic microwave background. A faint glow at 2.7 Kelvin, relic radiation cooled by expansion, mapping the universe's infancy like a snapshot from 380,000 years after creation. Beyond, the unobservable stretches eternally, perhaps infinite in flat geometry, or curving in ways that loop back on themselves, though evidence favors flatness. Galaxy clusters like Virgo, 50 million light-years away, pull us in with their gravity, yet dark energy's push ensures ultimate separation, a great cooling where protons decay in 10⁻34 years, leaving a sparse soup of photons and leptons. Life's emergence, from carbon-based chemistry in interstellar clouds to complex ecosystems on watery worlds, hints at infinity's fertility. Perhaps trillions of habitable zones await, oceans under ice on Europa or methane rains on Titan, each a potential cradle. The Fermi paradox lingers here. If infinity teems with possibility, why the silence? Maybe civilizations fade like stars, or communicate in ways beyond our grasp, radio waves or gravitational chirps lost in the void. Yet this infinity cradles us gently, its scale diminishing earthly concerns, much like the vastness of night sky above a quiet field, where staring up dissolves the self into peaceful oneness, your eyelids growing heavy as the universe's quiet song envelops you. In the large-scale structure, walls like the CFA2 Great Wall span 500 million light-years, boundaries between voids where matter concentrates, their formation traced to baryon acoustic oscillations, sound waves in the early plasma imprinting scales of 150 megaparsecs, a fossil hum from the universe's youth. Rogue planets, untethered from stars, may outnumber bound ones, wandering the dark in perpetual night, warmed perhaps by internal heat or radioisotopes, silent nomads in the galactic plane. Cosmic voids, like the Bota's void, 330 million light-years across, host few galaxies, their emptiness a canvas for studying expansion's purity, where dark energy dominates unchecked. Multiverse theories, from eternal inflation's bubble realms to string landscapes 10,500 vacua, posit parallel infinities where constants vary, some barren, others lush, our own a rare oasis of stability. These vistas of endlessness, far from daunting, offer solace in their impartial embrace, a reminder that existence is a shared whisper in the grand hush, aligning with the meditative release where boundaries blur and peace prevails. In the heat death's approach, black dwarf stars cool to background temperatures, their surfaces etched by eons of isolation, while positronium clouds form in the dilute medium, annihilating slowly into photons that wander forever. Cyclic models suggest bounces from contraction, infinity as recurrent waves rather than linear fade, each cycle birthing novelty from contraction's forge. The anthropic principle muses that our position in this vastness allows observation, fine-tuned constants enabling complexity, a philosophical nod to contingency's grace. These infinite prospects, layered with potential and poise, extend the cosmos's lullaby, your consciousness merging with its boundless hush as sleep beckons. In the far future, Boltzmann brains, self-aware fluctuations in the vacuum, might outnumber evolved minds. A statistical reverie where consciousness arises spontaneously from entropy's depths, underscoring infinity's whimsical fertility. These expansive horizons, embracing all possibilities, dissolve isolation into connection, a cosmic assurance that echoes in the quieting of your thoughts. In eternal inflation's landscape, bubble universes nucleate endlessly, each a pocket of local laws emerging from false vacua, their boundaries horizons of eternal separation, a fractal infinity where our reality is but one quiet bubble in an ocean of foam. These boundless realms, teeming with unseen variations, evoke the universe as an infinite library of dreams, shelves upon shelves of narratives unfolding in silence, inviting your own dream to join the eternal collection, weightless and free. In the string theory's Calabi-Yau manifolds, compact dimensions fold in intricate geometries, their shapes determining particle masses and forces, a hidden multiplicity underpinning the apparent three-dimensional calm. These microscopic infinities, vibrating with potential modes, suggest the cosmos as a symphony of unseen strings, their harmonies resolving into the observable tune, much like the subtle vibrations of a lullaby resonate through the body into sleep. In the holographic principle, the universe's information content scales with surface area, not volume, implying our three-dimensional experience emerges from a lower dimensional boundary, a projected illusion of depth from flat serenity. These profound embeddings, reconciling vastness with compactness, offer a philosophical comfort, where infinity nests within the finite, mirroring the way profound rest contains boundless dreams within the quiet of closed eyes. In the landscape of possible vacua, quintessence fields might drive evolving dark energy, altering expansion's pace over time, a dynamic infinity where the future remains open, like an unfinished melody awaiting its close. These evolving expanses, from static constants to rolling scalars, portray infinity as a living canvas, ever painting new horizons, a gentle evolution that soothes with its promise of continuity. In the Great Attractor Basin, our supercluster flows toward an overdensity masked by the zone of avoidance, pulling at 600 kilometers per second, a local infinity within the larger web where motions converge in subtle unity. These gravitational sinks, spanning 200 million light-years, draw disparate parts into shared destiny, evoking the quiet pull of belonging in vast spaces. In the cosmic far future, iron stars form from white dwarf mergers, dense spheres where electron degeneracy halts collapse, their surfaces cold and unyielding after proton decay strips atmospheres. These ultimate remnants, lasting 10–1500 years, represent matter's final form, a crystalline hush in the diluting void. In multiverse ensembles, the measure problem weighs probabilities across bubbles, eternal inflation's chaos yielding statistical infinities where observers like us emerge rarely, a selection effect in the measure's calm. These weighted vistas, philosophical in their vastness, affirm our place as a serene instance in endless variation. In the arrow of time's reversal, in contracting phases of cyclic models, entropy decreases, birthing low entropy starts from high, a rebound where infinity loops in renewal. These oscillatory eternities, driven by ikparotic brain collisions, suggest time's bidirectional flow, a balanced rhythm like breath's cycle. In the void's quantum fluctuations, vacuum energy seeds new universes in false vacua, a perpetual nucleation where infinity begets infinities, each bubble a quiet genesis. These emergent pockets, disconnected yet kin, weave a foam of possibilities, a meditative multiplicity that dissolves singularity into serene abundance. In the Sloan Great Wall's extended filaments, quasar alignments stretch 1.4 billion light-years, their clustering a whisper of large-scale coherence, challenging homogeneity on horizon scales. These linear threads at z1.6 evoke the web's persistent pattern, a quiet assertion of structure in vast uniformity. In the local void's edge, our position near an underdensity influences peculiar velocities, the Milky Way receding at 250 kilometers per second into this emptiness, a gentle drift into local infinity. These nearby expanses, 23 megaparsecs wide, frame our cosmic neighborhood, balancing density with serene space. In the future visibility limit, accelerating expansion hides distant galaxies beyond Za 1.8. Their light redshifted out of detection, a gradual veiling of the past in dark energy's hush. These receding vistas, over 10 billion years, suggest a personal horizon for observers, where infinity contracts to observable calm. In the string gas cosmology, early universe strings wound around compact dimensions, their thermal equilibrium smoothing space before inflation, a vibrational birth in toroidal hush. These primordial harmonies, equilibrating tension and entropy, offer an alternative genesis, resonating with meditative balance. In the brain world's Randall-Sundrum model, our universe a brain in anti-de Sitter bulk, gravity localizes exponentially, explaining hierarchy without supersymmetry, a thin sheet in higher calm. These embedded realms, with warped extra space, evoke infinity's layered subtlety, horizons folding in geometric poise. In the eternal inflation's measure, young bubble weighting favors low entropy starts, resolving Boltzmann brain dominance, a probabilistic grace in multiversal foam. These selective biases, from volume growth, affirm evolved complexity's quiet prevalence, harmonizing chance with order. In the cosmic microwave background's polarization, E and B modes trace scalar and tensor perturbations, primordial gravitational waves whispering inflation's vigor at R 0.1. These twisted patterns, from silk damping, map the universe's infant turbulence, a spectral hush in relic light. In the dark flow's debated pull, bulk motion toward a 1017 solar mass structure at 600 kilometers per second, CMB dipole anomalies hint at beyond horizon influences, a subtle tug in local infinity. These controversial drifts across 2.5 billion light-years suggest hidden masses, evoking the universe's veiled attractions. In the holographic entanglement entropy, Ryutaka-Yanagi formula equates bulk minimal surfaces to boundary correlations, information's geometry in ADS, a surface tale of volumetric depth. These area laws, bridging quantum and gravity, reveal infinity's encoded serenity, projections from boundary calm. In the false vacuum decay's bubble nucleation, thin wall approximations yield expanding domains at light speed. Our universe potentially a survivor in eternal foam, a quiet pocket amid transitions. These tunneling events, with rates exponentially suppressed, portray stability's patient vigil, much like repose's hold against fleeting thoughts. In the large-scale curvature's constraint, CMB flatness to 0.4% limits topology. Open or closed universes ruled out beyond 10% deviation, a Euclidean hush in cosmic geometry. These spectral bounds, from angular scales, affirm the infinite plane's gentle expanse, inviting uncurved contemplation. In the cosmic infrared background's unresolved glow, extragalactic light from first stars and AGN scatters in intergalactic dust, a faint veil at 100 microns tracing early luminosity. These diffuse echoes, 10 Nuem2TUR, whisper of obscured epochs, harmonizing hidden light with visible vastness. In the multiverse's landscape, axions, Varying decay constants across vacua alter dark matter clumping. Some bubbles barren of structure, a varied fertility in infinite variety. These scalar tunings, from string moduli, evoke diversity's philosophical depth, serenity in potential's range. In the ultimate fate's big rip, if phantom energy dominates, expansion tears galaxies apart in 22 billion years. A final unraveling where infinity dissolves bonds in accelerating hush. These extreme projections with W1 suggest time's end in atomic separation, yet philosophical acceptance in cosmic flow. In the conformal cyclic cosmology, Penrose's model sequences aeons, where null infinities glue to new big bangs, entropy reset in supermassive black hole evaporation, an eternal recurrence in geometric calm. These concatenated epochs, with CMB rings as prior aeon echoes, portray infinity as cyclic whisper, horizons birthing horizons in serene loop. In quieter corners of this infinite tapestry, the vacuum's subtle hum reveals more. Cosmic rays, high-energy protons from distant supernovae, streak through space at near-light speeds, colliding with Earth's atmosphere to shower muons that pass harmlessly through us, a constant rain from the stars. Magnetic fields thread galaxies, weak yet pervasive, guiding charged particles in spirals that birth cosmic rays or synchrotron radiation, glowing in radio telescopes like faint auroras across the void. The interstellar medium, sparse gas at 1 atom per cubic centimeter, carries the scent of creation. Organic molecules like glycine detected in comets, precursors to life drifting on solar winds. Dwarf galaxies, satellites to giants like ours, orbit in tenuous halos, their stars dim and ancient, survivors of tidal stripping that leaves streams of light in the sky, like comet tails frozen in time. These details paint the universe not as a cold machine, but a living breath, inhaling cosmic dust to exhale light, its rhythms syncing with your own slowing pulse, each revelation a soft invitation to let go. Solar system oddities, like the asteroid belt's remnants of failed planet formation, clumped by Jupiter's resonance, or the Oort cloud's distant shell of comets perturbed into fiery visits, add layers to our local infinity, where even the familiar holds undiscovered depths. Interstellar dust, grains of carbon and silicates, aligns with galactic fields to polarize starlight, a subtle filter revealing magnetic contours, while molecular clouds like Taurus birth low-mass stars in quiet seclusion, their protostellar outflows carving bipolar jets that illuminate the birth process. In the cosmic web's nodes, where filaments intersect, galaxy groups simmer with hot intracluster medium, X-ray emitting plasma at millions of degrees, binding members through ram pressure that strips gas from spirals, quenching star formation in a gentle hush. These microcosmic narratives, woven into the infinite, evoke the layered serenity of a forest at dusk, where every leaf and shadow contributes to the tranquil whole, your body easing as the cosmos's quiet pulse becomes your own. Zodiacal light, sunlight scattered by interplanetary dust, arches the evening sky like a faint pyramid, a local phenomenon tying us to the ecliptic plane, while heliopause, the solar system's boundary, ripples with interstellar medium's pressure, Voyager probes crossing into true space after decades. In planetary nebulae, symbiotic systems where red giants feed white dwarfs, mirror variables pulse with S-process elements forged in slow neutron captures, enriching the medium for future suns. These interstitial wonders, bridging scales from solar to galactic, underscore the universe's nested harmony, a fractal calm that permeates all, inviting your final unwind into the night's profound quietude. In the local bubble, a cavity carved by supernovae over 10 million years, hot plasma at 1,000,000 Kelvin bathes our neighborhood, its edge a sheet of denser gas where new clouds condense, a local cycle of clearing and rebirth. These subtle undercurrents, from ray cascades to dust veils, infuse the void with latent vitality, a background murmur that harmonizes with the deepening silence of your repose. In the galactic fountain, recycled gas from starburst regions rises in plumes, cooling in the halo to rain back as infalling clouds, a vertical circulation that sustains the disk's fertility over gigayears. These hidden flows, like underground springs nourishing a vast plain, reveal the universe's self-renewing grace, a quiet vitality that mirrors the restorative hush of sleep, your being attuned to this eternal renewal. In the bow shock of the heliosphere, interstellar atoms compress against solar wind, forming a glowing edge detected in Lyman Alpha, a boundary where local and galactic meet in balanced tension, much like the edge of consciousness, where waking thoughts yield to dream's gentle current. These peripheral whispers, from shock fronts to molecular drifts, enrich the infinite with intimate details, a cosmic embroidery where every thread contributes to the soothing whole, drawing your senses into complete surrender. In the diffuse ionized medium, galactic-scale plasmas fill the disk's volume, ionized by hot stars and cosmic rays, their faint emission lines tracing a pervasive glow that connects stellar nurseries to the halo's quiet expanse. These ionized veils, subtle and widespread, suggest matter's quiet diffusion, a background hum of activity that underlies the apparent stillness, akin to the faint rhythm of distant waves lapping at shore in the dead of night. In ultraluminous infrared galaxies, dust-obscured mergers fuel starbursts, where polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons fluoresce in mid-infrared, revealing organic chemistry's reach across cosmic distances, a molecular whisper of life's building blocks scattered far and wide. These obscured infinities, pierced by longer wavelengths, evoke the universe as a veiled garden, where hidden blooms await discovery, fostering a sense of wonder that eases into peaceful acceptance. In the circumgalactic medium, gas reservoirs extend 100 kiloparsecs around spirals, outflowing winds and accreting filaments in a balanced exchange, fueling star formation without depletion. These extended envelopes, traced by absorption in quasar sightlines, reveal galaxies as open systems, quietly importing and exporting matter in cosmic trade. In fast radio bursts from magnetars, millisecond emissions pierce the intergalactic medium. Their dispersion measures mapping electron columns along the line of sight, a sudden spark illuminating the sparse matter between. These enigmatic pulses, repeating in some sources, add bursts of inquiry to the steady hum, like fireflies in twilight. In the epoch of rionization, UV from first galaxies ionized the neutral hydrogen fog at Z-Betris 610, allowing CMB photons to stream freely, a dawn where light reclaimed the universe from darkness. These luminous pioneers, quasars and starbursts alike, sculpted the IGM into filaments of ionized quiet, a gradual unveiling that set the stage for structure's bloom. In molecular outflows from protostars, Herbig-Haro chains glow from shocks at 100 kilometers per second, entraining ambient gas to clear the envelope, a dynamic clearing that paves the way for planetary formation. These jet-driven sculptures, spanning light years, illustrate matter's active redistribution, a gentle propulsion in the birth process. In the intra-cluster light of Abell clusters, diffuse stars unbound to galaxies form a smooth component, stripped by tidal forces over mergers, a shared luminosity that binds the ensemble in faint cohesion. These orphan lights, comprising 20% of total, evoke matter's communal drift, a collective glow in gravitational fellowship. In the Fermi bubbles, gamma-ray lobes from galactic center outflows, plasma jets carve hourglass shapes 50,000 light-years tall, a bipolar breath from Sagittarius A's past activity. These energetic exhales, aged 2 million years, infuse the halo with relativistic particles, a quiet legacy in high-latitude skies. In the Andromeda stream, tidal debris from M32's interaction wraps the local group, its stars tracing a great circle in phase space, a lingering arc from merger's hush. These stellar rivers, with velocities 200 kilometers per second, bind neighbors in shared history, evoking infinite kinship in local bonds. In the Magellanic stream, gas trailing the clouds spans 200 degrees, ram pressure stripping hydrogen into a filament 600,000 light-years long, a gaseous wake in Milky Way's tide. These trailing veils, condensing into new stars, reveal intergalactic recycling, a serene flow in dynamical embrace. In the Smith cloud, a high-velocity Infala 10 kpc out, its 1 million solar masses plummet at 150 kilometers per second, destined to fuel the disk in 30 million years, an incoming gift in galactic hush. These extraplanar clouds, enriched with metals, suggest recycled fountain material, quiet returns in cosmic circulation. In the Perseus Arms molecular ridge, dense gas lanes trace spiral structure, their CO emissions mapping star-forming hubs, like W51, a linear nursery in galactic flow. These ridgeline cradles, with masses 10 more 6 suns, concentrate collapse in magnetic guidance, fostering birth in aligned serenity. In the halo's globular streams, like Palomar 5's tidal tails, stars evaporate over 10 billion years, their orbits tracing potential wells in dynamical maps, a slow unraveling into field calm. These stellar chains, 20 degrees long, reveal cluster dissolution, quiet dispersals in gravitational fields. In the Ophiuchus complex, a superbubble from multiple supernovae, its shell fragments into clouds at 20 parsecs, feedback dispersing yet seeding new condensations in balanced hush. These expansive cavities, 100 parsecs wide, evoke the ISM's resilient poise, renewal from rupture's gentle wake. In the Chamaeleon clouds, low-mass star formation in quiet seclusion, their Bock globules collapse into binaries, a serene gestation far from massive hubs. These southern nurseries with AV Tauri stars illustrate isolated births, much like solitary reflections in meditative space. In the Taurus Auriga's dispersed mode, wide binaries form from turbulent fragmentation, their separations 100 AU tracing initial conditions, a loose kinship in molecular hush. These scattered siblings, with ages 1 to 10 million years, preserve cloud dynamics in orbital memory, harmonizing isolation with connection. In the Rho Ophiuchus embedded cluster, young protostars drive outflows that collide into molecular hydrogen emission, a web of shocks in dense core. These interactive jets, spanning degrees, reveal feedback's intricate dance, quiet collisions birthing light. In the Lupus clouds, filamentary structures thread the complex, their cores collapsing into Class 0 sources, a linear flow towards stellar seeds. These thread-like hush, with masses 10.4 suns, suggest magnetic support yielding to gravity, a guided serenity in formation. In the corona australis, a cometary globule points toward R Chiarae, its tail eroded by winds, protecting a protostar in shadowed tip. These directional forms, 2 light-years long, embody protective veils, quiet resistance in luminous seas. In the Pipe Nebula, a dark river in Ophiuchus, its bones of extinction map Prestella cores, a skeletal hush awaiting ignition. These opaque streams, with 10 or more 5 solar masses, preserve pristine gas, a potential rich calm before births stir. And so, as our journey through this mystery softens to a close, let the stars cradle you. Thank you for drifting with us on Dreams of Gravity. May you slip into a peaceful night, filled with pleasant dreams among the stars. Good night.